Well. Micah Parsons gave his interview for Green Bay today. And it still seems like there are some Cowboy fans who have not moved on from Micah Parsons. But I'm sorry. Brian Schottenheimer and these Cowboys have been, I believe, moved on from Micah Parsons. Welcome to Cowboys After Dark. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Let's go. Late night with the Dallas. Late night talking about the Cowboys. Y'all wake up, get your coffee ready. If you don't catch it tonight, you'll catch this in the morning. We're going to finish our conversation and finish the interview with Brian Schottenheimer from today. As we break down some of the things that he talked about. Let's go. Let's get it. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this live stream, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we go live, we'll post another video. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, so that you can experience more of this stuff like the Cowboys After Dark, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. So, let's go back to where we were today. We didn't get a chance to finish the Brian Schottenheimer press conference. We're going to finish the Brian Schottenheimer press conference. We're going to look at, again, a reaction from Get Up. We're going to look at Cam Newton has been spitting on this thing, man. Cam Newton has been absolutely spitting on this thing about Jerry Jones and this Micah Parsons trade. We're going to look at the Kenny Clark interview. Looks like he's got another interview up. And then we'll see if we can check out this Michael Irvin second reaction as it applies to Micah Parsons. I think he says some great things as it applies to this thing with Micah Parsons. And then we'll see. Depends on how much time I have left tonight. We'll see some of the things that 105.3 The Fan has been talking about, because they seem to be absolutely surprised that so many of the fan base is glad that Micah Parsons is gone. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Things I've seen in my comments under my videos, things I've seen on X, so many things I've seen, there are a lot of people who are not surprised. So that's the show for Cowboys After Dark. Continue the Shotty Presser, the Get Up reaction, Cam Newton, Kenny Clark interview, Irvin second reaction, 105.3 The Fan. Let's go. Let's get it. All right. Let's get us a quick roll call in. And whether it be 10 or 10,000, we about to talk Cowboys. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's see who up late tonight. Miss Matrix in the crib. What's going on? We live, Mixed Matrix. We live. Let's go. My brother Hovind. What up down there in Florida, man? What's going on? I know it's late down there. What is going on? I'm awake. Are you? You know I'm awake. We live. Let's go. C-Base up in the crib. Let's get this thing going. All right, let's go. Dolores Ennis, let's go. Let's go. Tyrone Jones. He said we got to quit calling dude generational. He's just a freakish athlete. He hasn't proven himself to be generational. Whoa, Tyrone Jones, speaking truth early in the morning. Let's get it. Let's go. Johnny Woods. Yeah, man. I do Cowboys After Dark. We're going to do it a whole lot more once now that the season is starting back. Zay, 33. He said a lot of emotional Cowboy fans all in their feelings. The number one problem we had was stopping the run. We were dead last going back to the Sean Lee days. Facts. Absolute facts. Katharina Kiss. Good evening. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Dominic Pittman, my regular. What's going on up in here? It's time to bless him with some Cowboys After Dark. You know it. JCT Slice, what is up with you? He said, gee, I wish Micah Parsons the best except against us. Me too. He was a great player. Both teams. I believe they both got what they wanted. Marcus Pearson, what up? He said, I love that you do the Cowboys After Dark. It helps me get through the night at work. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. All right, let's get some more. Let's get a couple more, then we're going to get this thing started. Travis Beck, what up? Appreciate you being in here with me. Let's get this thing going. All right, Gabe Guerrero, what up? He said, guess Micah didn't want to take that pay cut. Jerry gave him wink, wink. Yeah, man. Jerry was actually offering him more guaranteed money. And then when you figure in the Green Bay the state tax, he's going to be making, really, it seems like he's going to be making the same. I think he's going to be making less when it's all said and done. And especially what you think about what Jerry was going to do for him off the field. But it is what it is. Let's get it. All right, William Gann Jr. up in the crib. Good to see you tonight. Travis Beck, glad Micah gone. Me too. This team can focus on what needs to be done. No diva stuff, no podcasting, straight football. Yep. DME greatness. He said, let's go, coach. Let's go. Mile House City, what's up with you? Let's go. All right, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We'll get some more greetings as we see people come in late tonight. Man, let's get this thing going. Let's get back over here, man. Brian Schottenheimer was dropping megaton bombs today. And I'm telling you right now, Brian Schottenheimer full well. And this is why I love the fact that he called his team, the fact that he was keeping his team in the loop. They were expecting this, I believe. I don't think this is no surprise to the leadership of this team. I don't think it's any surprise. And so Brian Schottenheimer, again, great interview today. Brian Schottenheimer got the gift of gab, always saying the right things. But today, a person like him who is such a great communicator, what he did today and what he did, of course, after the Micah Parsons thing was much needed for these Dallas Cowboys because they got somebody who can actually one of the things that I said today that I like that he's doing, Brian Schottenheimer is making sure that not under any circumstances does he make this team feel like he's against Jerry Jones. Brian Schottenheimer keeps emphasizing it's a team decision. We keep each other, we communicate, we do all these things. He keeps telling us this. He wants us to know this because he wants us, he doesn't want it to be like it's been here in the past with some of these coaches. It's, I'm not with Jerry Jones on certain things. No, Brian Schottenheimer is making sure he is with Jerry Jones 100%, and Jerry Jones is making sure he knows that he's with him 100%. I love what he's doing. All right, let's get this pulled up. Then we're going to get into this. I think we were probably somewhere around, I would say, the 12 to 14 minute mark. I'm going to kick it off at number 12, and I'll be reading comments as we go. Let's go.
Middle, and that was an area that we felt very strongly about that we wanted to get better at.
Player leadership is obviously a huge part of culture. When something like this happens, how much do you rely on a guy like Dak Prescott, who obviously is a big leader in there?
Yeah, of course, Dak was one of the guys that I called when this happened, along with, again, 12 or 14 other guys. And again, there's
if you don't understand the rules of power.
Now, I'm going to tell you something that I said before I even saw this interview. I said yesterday, I guarantee you they not only called, he not only called Dak Prescott before, he called Dak Prescott.
Of course, Dak was one of the guys that I called.
Not only did he call Dak Prescott afterwards, they called Dak Prescott before they made this decision. And it's actually leaking out on X, and I'm not saying that I'm worried, but Micah Parsons, you watch what I tell y'all. Micah Parsons will be gunning for Dak Prescott in the fourth game of the season. The Cowboys better have a plan for Micah Parsons. I'm telling you, he is going to be headhunting Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb said that he didn't want Micah to do this the way he did it. Dak was trying to assure him the deal was going to get done. But it is obvious that Micah and Jerry couldn't come to terms, and so it is over. But one thing I know about Micah, very sensitive, also lives on social media. And I guarantee you that if they're saying on social media that it was unanimous amongst front office, amongst coaches, amongst the leadership council. He knows who's on that leadership council. And one thing we know about even players themselves, every player on your team is not loyal. There'll be players that'll still be saying stuff that other players may have said about Micah Parsons. I guarantee you there'll be somebody in the locker room that'll be telling Micah Parsons that somebody's glad that he's gone. He'll be gunning for Dak Prescott. I guarantee you, because Dak Prescott and these other leaders, if it's unanimous, yeah, they were a part of the decision too, in a sense.
When this happened, along with, again, 12 or 14 other guys, and again, there's the leaders of this team and the players that I spoke to appreciated me taking the time to call them. And I appreciated being able to have these real conversations with them. And I think that that's part of how you move forward, is you have conversations. And again, a lot of coaches probably don't feel that way, but I thought it was very important that once this happened, that they heard it from me. A lot of them had heard it broke, pretty quick, which it does nowadays. But you still get on the phone and you say, "Yo, what's up? It's Schotty. Got a few minutes?" And you visit.
Todd.
Sockets of the Athletic. Right.
Let me read a comment real quick. I see you here. I like. Hold on a second. Let me read a couple comments. It's Cowboys After Dark. We got plenty of time tonight. Jeanette Rogers, what's going on with you? Good to see you. Zay33 said Michael wanted to be in Green Bay. Go watch the Jordan 11 interview. He would disrespect the organization anyway. Yeah. I think he wanted to go there. I really do. I think he wanted to go there. Dominique Pittman said, "Gee, I saw online supposed rumors of some of the players on the team didn't like Michael doing the podcast. It wasn't a rumor." James Slater said there were a ton of players who didn't like the fact that he was doing the podcast. Whether that's true or not, I think it's corny. This was posted a day after the trade. Dominique, this is why I'm saying, I'm not saying I'm worried as in he's going to do something to Dak outside of the field, but I'm worried because there are people who are leaking things about things the players are saying. And this is one of the reasons why I love the fact that Jerry and Steven didn't have Brian Schottenheimer at the press conference they were at. And I'm glad now that Brian Schottenheimer is doing this by himself, and I don't want him to be saying stuff like, yeah, the players were all with this and blah, blah, blah. But Micah knows, I'm pretty sure that there were a lot of players who didn't like him. That's why I didn't watch the press conference he had, because I'm really not interested in anything that Micah Parsons actually has to say anymore. I'm moving on from Micah Parsons, and I'm telling you, after this weekend, I'm moving on, especially after we get past the Green Bay game. It'll be a lot of hype building up to that game, but I'm moving on. But Micah Parsons even said that I'm the type of person that, I'm the type of person that maybe I'm not so easy to like, or whatever the case may be, because of the kind of person he is. And so we're going to see. I'm telling you, you're going to see. Michael's going to find out the hard way. He will never reach the level that he would have reached with the Cowboys off the field. And I'm not so sure at Green Bay on the field. Man, let me tell you something. Green Bay has taken a huge gamble. They're basically saying that Micah Parsons is the missing piece. But I think they're going to find out very quickly. And it's crazy to me that is also being reported over on X that now they're saying that he's going to be used at the linebacker position. This is all banana bunkers to me. It was really good for him to go and get a different taste of what it's like to not be with the Cowboys. Go somewhere where he'll let people actually manage him, coach him. Maybe he will be better for the Green Bay Packers than he was for the Cowboys. Maybe he will be a part of the run-stopping game. Maybe he'll do a lot of things that I think that some of these Cowboys coaches wanted him to do, but for whatever reason, and people can tell me anything they want to, but Jerry really loved Micah Parsons and was basically giving him carte blanche to do whatever he wanted to do. This was great for the team. Fred Allen said Jerry Jones doesn't want to win, just make money. Not true. Not true. If Jerry Jones wanted to make money, Jerry Jones would have signed Micah Parsons, because the whole world was screaming for Jerry Jones to extend Micah Parsons. And had Jerry extended Micah Parsons, everybody would be fine right now, even if we were still weak in the middle of the field. If Jerry wanted to make money, this would have been one of the easiest ways to do it. Take this down to the wire and then sign Micah Parsons. No, Jerry said, no, this isn't about making money only. This is about the team. And this move was absolutely about the team. And it's funny to me that people they get mad when Jerry finally makes a move that he chooses the team over a player. People still don't know how to act. They still don't know how to act. Cowboys are going to be great without Micah Parsons. You watch what I tell you. Bam Bam Game said Micah can't do nothing with Tyler. Tyler 2 times. I'm with you, Bam Bam. I'm with you. The Cowboys know this man just like he knows some of the things the Cowboys do. The Cowboys know this man inside and out too. The Cowboys, a lot of people are acting like, yeah, man, the Green Bay Packers going to do this. Nah, I mean, let me tell you something. The Cowboys know exactly what they're doing. The only thing I'm concerned about is that Micah Parsons is going to want to get to Dak Prescott so bad. I'm hoping they got a plan for him, because I wouldn't even be surprised if he tries to hit him after, and I'm not talking about way after the whistle, but I think when Micah Parsons, for him, I'm not sure he's ever been too fond of Dak Prescott, contrary to what people think. I would not be surprised if Micah, if he can get it, even if it's a split second after the whistle, he's going to try to get it. He's going to try to get it. And I hope the Cowboys got a plan for him. And I hope, again, I hope they have a plan for him. But again, it doesn't seem like Green Bay going to line him up at the end position anyway. So we'll see how this all goes. But I'm glad, and I hope the Cowboys continue to keep a plan with this thing. Let me get a couple more greetings in here. Mile House City up in this thing. What's going on? Mile House City, I got a strange feeling too. I got a strange feeling this is going to blow up in the Green Bay Packers' face. And I'm talking not just short term, but long term. It's amazing to me today. Also saw where it was reported that Micah Parsons said his availability is fine. He was going to get a second opinion about his back for the Dallas Cowboys, and now he said he's ready to go. It's amazing how a contract, the same man who said he was about the team, he didn't require to be the highest paid, this same man now all of a sudden a contract is cured a back that he needed a second opinion for from the doctor. I'm telling you, you don't want a guy like that on your team. Daniel said, gee, I think we can make more moves, but 4 wide receivers is not really enough. I think the Cowboys are going to be fine. I don't think they're done making moves. I think they're going to make some more moves. Lisa Worley up in the crib. What's going on with you? They lost their translation podcast. Salute. What's going on? Will Mack up in this thing. He said he'll be hosting this podcast from the Northwoods. He'll be hosting his podcast from the Northwoods. Fred Allen, I appreciate your comments, but I don't buy it. Bro, because Micah Parsons was all about making money. Micah Parsons was not about winning football, man. What are you talking about? Micah Parsons cared nothing about this team in the grand scheme of things. Micah Parsons continued to make this all about him. And the same man that tried to down Dak, talking about, you know what they say about the highest paid player, you can't put players around him. And the only thing that Jerry Jones persisted to do after that is put players around Dak Prescott, and was trying to even pay him to put him around Dak Prescott. He goes on to be the highest paid player. Why isn't he saying that now, Fred? Come on, man. You gotta be honest. Micah Parsons cares nothing about winning is not his priority either. If you're going to say winning is not his Jerry Jones priority, then it's not his either. Because he's put the podcast before the team. The team told him they were not happy with it. He put that before the team. He put himself before the team this entire offseason, made it all about him with the contract. No, man. I'm not buying it, Fred. I appreciate all of your comments. Christian Gow, he said, gee, I think Micah faked his injury. You think? You think? All of a sudden now his availability is great? He's ready to go, and now he's even going to play linebacker when he wouldn't play it for us? It's crazy, man. Dominique Pittman, he said, gee, I don't think him and Dak were cool like that. I don't either. Appreciate that super chat, Dominique. Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons were cut from two different cloths, man. They were just not the same. It is what it is. They were trying to see if Dak would rub off on him. But Micah don't want anybody to rub off on him. Some of the stuff that I saw posted about his press conference tells you everything you need to know about who he is. This team was ready to get rid of this man. They were ready to get rid of him. Schottenheimer, he said a team knowing how to use Michael, crazy. And Schottenheimer, it is crazy to me that now they're talking about they're going to move him around and have him playing linebacker. It's insanity. It's insanity to me. Go Dodgers, what's going on? He said people are going to realize during the year that the reason why the Cowboys could not stop the run is because Micah Parsons has no position other than him rushing the passer. It's a big hole for the running back. Go Dodgers. You're exactly right. Okoye Media, who loves Micah Parsons, has been showing film for the last couple of days and showing how Micah Parsons was absolutely a liability in the run game, showing just play after play after play of teams running right at Micah Parsons. And the problem with him, because he's not a big player, and when these guys keep chipping him and bigger people are running at him and then double teams and stuff like that, he wears down. He wears down. But again, we all had been saying this. Had some of us not been saying that Micah Parsons should be playing linebacker, and there were people pushing back talking about Micah Parsons shouldn't be playing linebacker? No, I thought he should have been playing linebacker. It's no problem with him rushing from the edge, but why not play linebacker? He could have been one of the best to ever do it, I believe, at the linebacker position. But we'll see what Green Bay does with him. But all of this stuff is crazy to me, and I'm just glad. I am so glad that the Cowboys made a football decision. Micah Parsons was a football decision. It wasn't a money-making decision. I'm telling you, it's not a money-making decision. The money-making decision would have been to sign him, because that was the expectation that everyone had. And everybody just would have been hunky-dory and saying, yeah, the Cowboys are ready to go now. No. It was a football move, and people are struggling with it, but it was. It's a football move. Mile High City said, gee, you're right. 2026, 2027 are the year we're going to be sitting right and primed to get to the Super Bowl. Mile High City. I've been saying this since I started this channel. I had no clue why. Because people were asking me, what's making you say that? And I'm like, I'm just telling us they're going to do some things different. I don't know what they're going to do, but I kept saying 2026 is going to be the year. And 2025, they're going to flash. I will not be surprised if the Cowboys get to the NFC Championship game. I am not going to be surprised if they really get that far down there. And anything can happen. It's a battle of attrition. Anything can happen. The Cowboys could catch some kind of break, and you never know, and we are on our way. But I'm telling you, this team is going to be good, and this team has a chip on their shoulder. And the chip on this team's shoulder, I guarantee you, behind closed doors, is that people are saying that this team is done because of Micah Parsons. People are saying this team is done because of Micah Parsons. If I was Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, a couple other players on this team, for somebody to call Micah Parsons the best player on this team, oh, I'd be offended. I'd be offended at so many of the things that this media is saying, and I'm telling you, my rally cry would be in this locker room. We're gonna shock the world. We're gonna show them how good we are without Micah Parsons. We're gonna show them, because I got news for y'all. We've seen this team without Dak Prescott. We've seen this team without Dak Prescott. And this team don't even look the same without Dak Prescott. Micah Parsons wanted to go to the playoffs so bad without Dak Prescott last year, it was killing him. It was killing him. Because he wanted to seize the power of this team. And I am so glad this entire organization said, no, we're not letting you do it. We are not letting you do it. I'm glad at what they did. I'm glad at what they did. This is a football move. Let me read one more comment, then we're going to get this thing going with Brian. Jane Morris, he said, I remember Edgar. I remember Edgar. Michael tweeted as soon as Tank left for Seattle, it's my time. All about me attitude is surfacing now. Straight up, Gene Martz. Straight up. This man wanted leadership to be handed to him. He didn't want to earn it. This man actually thought that just because you can sack the quarterback, that meant that you are the leader. Just because people talked about you in the media. Them same people that talked about him in the media were the same people that were exposing him in the media, saying that he fades down the stretch, saying that he doesn't show up in big games. Stephen A. Smith said it. Many of his pundits said it on ESPN. Many of them were saying it. And then Micah Parsons getting a contract year, and all of a sudden, one of the things we threw around about Micah Parsons too much was generational. Warren Sapp said it best. When you start talking generational, there has to be a Super Bowl in that conversation first. And I do believe that there are some people that may exceed in such a way, and they may be on a bad team and they don't get that Super Bowl, but everybody recognizes like, nah, bro, this dude is generational. But typically when we talk about generational players, we're talking Super Bowls too. We're talking they were the reason that some team went to the Super Bowl. I'm telling us, the Cowboys made a football move. They did. Unlucky 8719 said 2021 must have, he said that relationship busted that relationship up a long time ago. Yeah. Christian Legal said, yeah, I think the Cowboys will have a plan for Micah. I think so too. And Jerry already kind of alluded to it. I think they're going to have a serious plan for him. And I think one of the plays they're going to do, man, they're going to run right at him. If he lines up on the edge, they're going to run right at him. I promise you they are. All right, let's get some more of this thing with Brian Schottenheimer. Let me read real quick. Lisa, my sister, Lisa Worley, she said, gee, how do you feel about that other Sanders boy, Shiloh? I wish we would have picked him up, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, Lisa, have already picked him up. I think he can play in this league. He needs a lot more maturing, but I think he can play in this league. And I think somebody need to put him on the practice squad. I wish the Pittsburgh Steelers have already done it. I wish the Cowboys could have done it, brought him along. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers is also a great organization for him to be on their practice squad. Gabe Guerrero, Week 4 Sunday Night Football. Jerry ain't dumb. They just made Sunday Night Football against the Green Bay Packers must-see football. Micah Parsons returns to Dallas. There's no love lost between Dak and the new number 1 in Lambeau. That will be the most watched game of the season, I predict. Boy, it is going to be up there. I think the most watched game for the Cowboys may be, depending upon what their record is, it may be, I think, the Thanksgiving game against the Kansas City Chiefs. But I think this may be second. But boy, I'm not going to be surprised, though. It might very well be the top game. The top game of the it might be the number 1 watched game of the season. I will not be surprised. All right, let's check it out.
And you talked about the conversations with players. What have your conversations been like with Matt Eberflus, where, would he like to have a talented player like Micah? I'm sure he would, but, just going and having a player like Kenny then and plugging him in and just how he goes about scheming.
Yeah, Flus's ability to be multiple and do different things. He's excited about Kenny and what Kenny can bring to this defense. And, when Flus's defenses have been at their best, they've been just dominant against the run. And, there's certainly ways that you can, use your multiple pieces to change fronts and things like that. I'll go back to the 7-iron comment. We haven't even begun to touch on the different matchups and personnel uses that we can use on a given day. But Flus is excited. He's looking forward to Kenny. He's same thing. He's a guy he's admired. And when you got a piece like that can be as dominant inside, it helps make everybody around him better.
Yeah. In that room now, with what kind of role does Dante Fowler take in a room that's pretty young with a lot of potential, but doesn't have that veteran, production?
Well, so I appreciate you asking about Dante. Dante was one of the players I called, and Dante's grown up so much, and he is a leader. And I think when I was first around Dante a couple of years ago, he didn't say much. But, he speaks up in the meetings when we make it interactive and I ask questions about opinions of different things, about messaging and stuff like that. Dante, it's so cool for me because I see him growing into one of those guys that he wants to share, he wants to give back to some of the younger guys. So absolutely, that's a guy that has already been stepping up and will step up, continuing in this role.
Notice how he emphasized Dante Fowler is a leader.
Hey, Baltimore 105.9 fan. You're obviously in the first year of your contract. If you're in a situation similar to what Mike McCarthy was in last year, in the last year of his contract, would your thought process have been different?
I think we're all on one-year contracts in this business, babe. I mean, I really do. I mean, you do? Hey, mine's a little more than that, but.
Uh-oh. We are going to need a moment of silence for Mixed Matrix. She said her husband is a lifelong Packers fan. She said, let that sink in. It is going to be nothing but, Mixed Matrix. You go hear this now all season long. Micah Parsons. Boy, it's going to be exciting in your house the fourth game of the season. Woo-wee. Moment of silence. All right, Miss Matrix, we with you. We with you. We with you in this. We with you on this journey. We with you.
But I mean, it's just, I really think, at the end of the day, we're going to be judged on wins and losses. And again, when you grow up in this business and you see the things that you see, whether it's Frank Reich after a year or some of the one and dones, and like, it doesn't scare me, doesn't startle me, it's the business. And if you're good at what you do and you know how to capture your players and get them pulling in the same direction, which I think we're going to do a great job of, I think we expect to have great success this year.
I'm telling you now, Brian Schottenheimer is either going to be one of the greatest failures or he's going to be one of the greatest success stories we've ever seen in Dallas. They have set this man up to be one of the greatest coaches in Dallas Cowboys history. If Brian Schottenheimer can come in here, just imagine if Brian Schottenheimer in his first season got a Super Bowl in the same season where they traded Micah Parsons. Could you imagine this? They have set this man up for, and I think they really set him up for success when you think about what they gave him on offense. They gave Shotty what he wanted on offense. I believe they've now given him what he wanted on defense. I think they've given Eberflus what he wanted on defense. I'm telling you, this coaching staff valued stopping the run over just rushing the quarterback. And this coaching staff, after coming in, and I'm glad it was a new coaching staff, because a new coaching staff could make this decision and nobody trip on it as hard as a coaching staff that may have been here for a while. But because this is a brand new coaching staff, man, they're not worried about people. They're not worried about trying to make people like them and all this stuff. These dudes want to come in and win. And they all agreed. For us to win, we got to get better in the middle. The pass rushers we got outside of Micah Parsons are good enough. And watch this part. Do y'all know this team doesn't even have to prepare to play without Micah Parsons? They've been practicing without him the entire OTAs, the entire training camp. They have already pretty much put this man in their rearview mirror as far as they don't even now have to say, okay, now Micah's back. We got to adjust for Micah and blah, blah, blah. They don't even have to do that. They don't even have to do that. This team is already set to go without Micah Parsons. It's not even going to be a transition for him. Easy peasy.
Okay.
Jeff Gold with Fox 4. Shotty, obviously, you're trying to invoke positivity, on these calls with the players. Do you acknowledge this as adversity, though?
I don't think so. I mean, again, you have two ways to look at it. And again, this was a unanimous decision. Like when we talked about it, this was unanimous from top to bottom. And again, when you look at it, there's going to be adversity. I don't see this as adversity. I think that, again, guys will step up. Guys will really
Yep.
do a great job of, again, bringing these new pieces into the locker room and the culture and get them up to speed. It was cool for me just looking over during practice today and seeing Kenny talking to Dante Fowler and Donovan Ezaraku, and it kind of, that's what you want. These guys aren't all standing off by themselves going, oh, what's going on? Like, no, it's not what you do in this business. You could lose players for different reasons in this game. We all know that. Guys retire, guys get injured. There's different ways you lose players. And so, no, I think that there's a chance for us to grow as a football team.
Yes, yes.
Jerry about the trick.
And let me show you guys something real quick. Let me show you what's so unique about this situation. Do y'all know there's actually a lot of players that are not going to miss playing with Micah Parsons? And let me tell you why. They've never played with him to begin with. Do y'all know how many? They replaced the whole coaching staff except for the tight ends coach. None of this coaching staff is going to miss Micah Parsons because they never coached him in the first place. They didn't have the same affinity for him. They come in, and if you were to tell me, if I was to come in watching Micah Parsons this offseason or watching him these OTAs in this training camp, I would have been looking at this dude all side-eyed going, I don't see this dude is a cancer. I'd have been telling the coaches in the meetings, man, y'all can tell me anything y'all want to about the 12 sacks per season, 52 sacks in 4 years. I saw where somebody is trying to make the case that about Micah Parsons and his sacks versus people like Myles Garrett. Okay, what the heck has Myles Garrett won? Okay, what the heck has he won? Trying to compare him to T.J. Watt. I don't care about I don't care about anybody comparing him to T.J. Watt. What has he won? No, I want you to compare him to somebody like Nick Bosa. Compare him to somebody who's actually done something. When you talk about generational, and this is the part that people don't understand. When you talk about generational, they don't disappear. They don't disappear. I don't care if there's one thing they're going to do. They don't disappear. I don't care if they get 1 sack per game in the playoffs. They get that 1 sack that makes the difference. They get that strip sack that makes the difference. They get that tackle for a loss that makes the difference. That somebody says they had a plan for him, but they couldn't stop him because he made the play that won the game. Y'all remember Aaron Donald in the Cincinnati Bengals, Los Angeles Rams Super Bowl? Aaron Donald had pretty much been nullified the whole game almost, even though they had to nullify him, you got to have a plan for him. And when it counted, what did he do? He stopped Joe Burrow from hitting Jamar Chase down the sidelines because he had burnt the socks off of Jalen Ramsey. That's what generational players do. And again, a lot of these players, the coaches, they weren't going to miss coaching him. They had never coached him. They were not going to miss him being in the games for them. He had never been in the games for them. And I'm going to show you something about these players. The Cowboys have turned over quite a bit of players. Let me show you something on defense. This is the Cowboys' final roster for now. Cowboys' final roster. Kenny Clark never played with Micah Parsons. He never played with him. Dante Fowler is a year removed from playing with him. Sam Williams hadn't played with him in almost 2 years. Jack Sanborn hasn't played with him. Kenneth Murray hasn't played with him. Kyer Elam hasn't played with him. They're not going to miss playing with Micah Parsons. And I guarantee you, Sam Williams, anybody paying attention to what Sam Williams is doing now? Strange to me. Micah Parsons gets traded and now Sam Williams is posting his workout videos online. Really, Sam Williams? Are you sending a message? Are you saying that I'm ready? I told y'all this before. People be acting like when a player leaves a team, that everybody is crying, especially when you think it's a player like Micah Parsons, and this is exactly what Brian Schottenheimer is explaining. Do you think these grown men who also need to get contracts too, do you think they're worried about Micah Parsons not being here anymore? These men like Sam Williams are saying, more opportunity for me. Dante Fowler, more opportunity for me. Watch this part. Do y'all know Donovan Ezeraku? Donovan Ezeraku, he's never played with Micah Parsons. He's not going to miss playing with Micah Parsons. He's never played with him. Solomon Thomas, he's not going to miss it. He never played with him. Shamar James, Triquez Bridges, Reddy Stewart. These guys are not going to be thinking like this. Jay Toya, Perion Winfrey. Do we not understand what these guys are saying? We're not worried about this. We're trying to make our mark in this league. And with Micah Parsons being gone, one of them is saying, or all of them are saying, shoot, we're going to fill that void. We're going to show everybody we can play. Do y'all not understand, if you are a football player, how it feels to hear someone say, I want y'all to imagine Jalen Tolbert. I want y'all to imagine Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert is saying all the right things. But does anybody think that Jalen Tolbert really felt good about the fact that Steven and Jerry Jones, Brian Schottenheimer were all saying this team doesn't have a number 2 wide receiver? Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Jalen Tolbert didn't like that. Jalen Tolbert wanted to make his mark on this team and to prove to them he was that number 2 wide receiver. He couldn't prove it. So they brought in George Pickens. Do you think that makes him feel good? Because I promise you it doesn't. When someone moves out of the way, someone else is trying to get that spot. Someone else is trying to get that spot. And right now, we have players. Sam Williams wants to prove. Oh, I promise you, in Sam Williams' mind, he is saying, I'm going to prove to y'all I'm just as good as a pass rusher, if not better, than Micah Parsons. Because that would be my thought process. Donovan Ezeraku right now is saying, it's all on me. I'm going to prove to everyone that I am just as good of a pass rusher, if not better than Micah Parsons, that I can fill that void. I promise you there are players. James Houston is saying, this is my second opportunity. I was on the right trajectory. I was about to be one of those players like Micah Parsons, and then I got an ankle injury. Man, I'm telling you, people don't understand this game. People aren't sitting around talking about, these players aren't sitting around thinking, man, without Micah Parsons, what are we going to do? No, these players are sitting around thinking, this is crazy how these people are saying that we're trash without Micah Parsons. This is how they see us? I'm telling you, I'd be on fire right now. And Brian Schottenheimer's already emphasized twice, man, we got a lot of great players on this team. These players are all ready to step up. It's just like he emphasized now. Man, it is crazy stuff that people say that they don't really think in the grand scheme of things how this affects. I mean, I don't know. I just know if it was me, and if you were telling me that just because Michael left, we're done, I'm fired up.
What was his main message to you about the move?
Really, the biggest thing was just that it had been agreed upon and it was done. And again, like I said, we've been in conversation about it, and so that's the immediate when I knew it was time for me to pick up the phone and reach out to some of our leaders.
Nick.
You talked about wanting to have the right guys here. You want to build an elite culture. Did culture play any sort of role in making this decision?
No, Micah and I have. I mean, we've everything I've ever asked Micah to do. I mean, Micah.
Data everywhere, and not an insight to see. It's overwhelming. Customer usage stats, dashboard data.
Has been awesome. And Mike and I've had some.
I can't. Now, this is one of these places where I can't ride with Brian on. And maybe Brian is doing this because, hey, you know what? I don't want to talk bad about the guy on his way out the door. We got to see him in 4 weeks. I don't want to give him a poster, bulletin board material. But Brian can tell us anything he wants to on this part. Brian, what you're saying doesn't match what y'all did. Jerry said it was unanimous. So y'all help me out with this. Do y'all think that Jerry Jones went to Brian Schottenheimer, went to the coaches, went to the front office, went to the players, and made this into a money issue and said, okay, guys, y'all tell me what y'all think. Should we trade Micah Parsons? I mean, should we pay Micah Parsons? Should we or should we not pay Micah Parsons? I guarantee you a lot of them would have probably said yes. This was a culture issue. And Brian full well knows it. If it wasn't a culture issue, why in the world did Brian Schottenheimer just have a conversation with Micah Parsons about his antics during the preseason game? Why have people been asking him over and over again, did you talk to Micah Parsons about the jersey around his neck? Did you talk to Micah Parsons about this? Talk to Micah Parsons? No. I disagree. This was a culture issue. There are some players you tolerate because they're talented, but this was a culture move. It was a culture move. Unequivocally a culture move. There is no way that if Micah Parsons is a generational talent, there is no way that Jerry trades Micah Parsons. There's just no way. If they looked at him like that, there is no way. This is more than just on the field. And everybody absolutely knows it.
Some real conversations going back to last week. You guys asked me about, after the preseason game. So the answer to that's no.
What would you have to replace from him as a leader?
Again, I think, the biggest thing would be some of the young guys are going to have to step up. Donovan knows that. I had a chance to talk to Donovan this morning. And, again, leadership, we're strong on leadership. I really do believe that. We're strong on leadership in this locker room, and adding a guy like Kenny Clark doesn't do anything to diminish that. It actually helps that tremendously. And that's one of the reasons that, again, when you look at this, you say, okay, Kenny's going to be a big piece of what we're trying.
I'm actually laughing at these Dallas media members insinuating that Micah Parsons was and let me be clear, he was a good leader. Micah Parsons wasn't a good leader. The reality is we all wanted him to be. When we thought he was becoming a leader, when the contract thing started pressing him, I told y'all this before. Pressure either bursts pipes or it creates diamonds. And when the pressure got turned up on that contract, we see who he is. Because when the pressure got turned up on Dak Prescott's contract, we saw who he is. And that's why Jerry Jones is even saying, in Dak we trust. Jerry Jones is saying, in Dak we trust. That's why we're doing some of the things that we're doing. We're trying to take advantage of the window with Dak Prescott. That's exactly what he's doing. And he even said as much. It's exactly what they're doing. And yes, this was a culture issue. Let me read a couple of your comments here. I appreciate y'all rocking with me on this late night Cowboys After Dark. Lisa said, the only thing I'm going to miss about Micah Parsons is the way he stripped the ball, the way he calls his turnovers. We're going to miss that. That's on the field type stuff. I'm not, because I don't think he did a lot of that, especially when it counted. I've already shown us today, Lisa. I've already shown us in 2023 in one of what Jerry thought was I'm actually laughing that Jerry actually came to Micah Parsons and said, it's not your fault that we lost. I've already shown Micah Parsons, last 7 games of that season in 2023, the man literally disappeared. 2.5 sacks in 7 games. When it came to the big games, he was gone. When it came to the Green Bay game, you literally have to check the stack sheet, check the box score to even see if he played. Because when you watched that game, you didn't even know Micah Parsons played. You didn't even know he played. 2 tackles. 2 tackles. He was totally neutralized. And I'm going to be fair to him. All of that wasn't his fault. I don't think the Cowboys had enough around him nor Dak. But nevertheless, when you're saying that somebody is generational, they find ways to make plays. They find ways to make plays. Aaron Donald has always come up big in big games. Nick Bosa has come up big in big games. I'm not worried about Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is a great talent. But Myles Garrett is on a trash team. Not worried about TJ Watt. TJ Watt has played extremely well, but they also get to a point to where they get dominated by teams because they just don't have enough offensively. Their defense may actually keep them in a game for only so long, and then when the dam breaks, it breaks. Micah Parsons has actually been on a good team, a 12-win team. And he couldn't find a way to be the difference in some of those games down the stretch, nor could he find the ability to make a big play in the playoffs. I just think we have listened to the media talk so big about Micah Parsons, but in the grand scheme of things, when you start breaking stuff down, the Cowboys said it. One-trick pony. Matty Dub showed us. We had the best pressure rate. Everybody's bragging on that. Terrible in the run. Terrible points allowed. Terrible in everything except for this man rushing the passer. It's terrible. Butter Soft. He said, gee, Michael was actually punished. Being traded to Green Bay. His numbers in the cold are abysmal. This was Bill Belichick in a Jimmy Johnson move. Hey, Butter, I said that earlier today. I said there is no way you could get me to play in Green Bay. Because even if you get the home field advantage, it's cold. You're playing outdoors. You're playing on the frozen tundra. Man, let me tell you something. I can't remember who it was, but somebody who played in the cold, they said, man, I don't care what you say. Nobody likes playing in the cold. Nobody likes playing in the cold. And people think because it's the home team, the team, the team that plays in the cold has the advantage. Do they really? I don't believe it. Miss Matrix said, how are we done, though? Were the Chiefs done when they traded Tyreek Hill? Yeah. Hey, Miss Matrix, they're saying we're done. A lot of people are saying that the Cowboys are done. They're done. Gregory Rodriguez, appreciate that super chat. Gregory Rodriguez said he isn't a generational talent, but that just shows you the power of the star. And Jerry showed Michael no one is bigger than the star. Go Cowboys. Yes, sir. Yeah, Rolando Rodriguez, he said, what's up from South Texas? Yes, sir. He said, cheers, Mike is gone. Can't wait for the first game. Oh, I'm so ready, man. Thursday's going to be great. You know what, Dre Yates? He said we need to get another running back. You know what? I had mentioned this a little bit earlier. I wouldn't be opposed to the Cowboys like dropping Miles Sanders and actually adding another running back until Phil Maffa and Jaden Blue really get this thing going. Lisa Worley said, do y'all realize after this season, Micah Parsons ain't going to be talked about no more because once you get traded from Dallas, you just don't shine no more. Straight up facts, Lisa. Only way he gets talked about is they win the Super Bowl. And they better win the Super Bowl with this move they made. They better win the Super Bowl. Because Green Bay, when you make a move like this, you're saying, this is a Super Bowl move. Tim Pinnell, gee, what about Mozzie? Mozzie, I believe, is still a part of the plan. I think they're going to kind of work him in. Into some kind of light rotation. But I think they're going to still try to let Mozzie prove himself. I think they're going to try to let him prove himself. And if he doesn't prove himself, I think next year the Cowboys will trade him. I think they're going to try and trade him. Daniel said, I still don't understand why fans believe we're going to keep those two first. We got to get Arch Manning, G. I don't even think we need to get him. Man, ain't no way the Cowboys are getting Arch Manning. They're not going to get Arch Manning. If the Cowboys said that one player doesn't make the team, then why would you give up all that draft capital to get Arch Manning? Not going to happen. I don't even know why people keep saying that. No, it's not going to happen. The Cowboys are going to continue to try to take advantage of Dak Prescott's window. The Dallas Cowboys, I was talking about this today to somebody. The Cowboys can't get rid of Dak Prescott to 2028. The Cowboys would take massive cap hits. Massive cap hits that would set them back, because even if you could get certain players, how are you going to pay them? No, Dak Prescott's contract is designed that this team, everything doesn't work. It doesn't work unless Dak is on the team. No, I don't know why people keep talking about Arch Manning.
To do, because he plays the game the right way. He's kind of, I know you guys had a chance to talk to him. He's not overly vocal, but man, the way he plays the game, the play style, it jumps off the film at your neck.
Kyler.
Adding Kenny changes the depth chart a little bit as it relates to Mozzie. We've asked you a little bit about him this preseason. Do you feel the need to sort of communicate with Mozzie and kind of keep him engaged and make sure he's sort of still there?
Were you in my office on Wednesday? Whatever day it was. No, I brought Mozzie up and spoke to Mozzie. And why? Talked about Mozzie with his consistency, and he knows that. And again, he understands. I believe in Mozzie.
Boy, they killing Mozzie though in the grand scheme of things, aren't they? Cowboys are killing Mozzie Smith. I mean, I just don't know. You know, people are already saying that this dude might not even love the game. They have been killing this dude. They basically made it public knowledge. Like they were basically explaining to the fan base. We kept Mozzie. We want y'all to know we're keeping Mozzie Smith. But y'all don't worry. We talked to Mozzie Smith. We told him he's not good enough. We told him he's not consistent enough. We told him, I mean, it's like they're basically telling the whole world, not only is he not what we want him to be, as far as his consistency goes, but now we're going to really add injury to insult, and we basically replace him in the same week. Man, I'm telling you, though, now, Brian, I love the way Brian says. I love some of the things that Brian says, but doggone it, Brian. Bro, how you going to sell us on this one? Now, there are just some things, Brian, you can't sell us, bro. You can't sell us that y'all are still high-hole Mozzie when you brought in the man's replacement. And if Clark plays good, the Cowboys would be insane not to extend him at least 2 more years. They would be insane to not sign him for another 2 to 3 years. Maybe 2 years guaranteed. Somewhere around 15, maybe 15 million guaranteed, sign him to a 3-year deal. They'd be crazy not to do it. Yeah, you can't sell us on this Mozzie thing, man. You can't sell us on this Mozzie thing.
I do. I believe in Mozzie. I believe that we will get the most out of Mozzie Smith. But I also made it very clear to him that, hey, it's got nothing to do with you being a first-round draft pick. It's that, hey, we know how capable you are of playing to a certain level, and how can we help you do that? So it was a very, very good conversation. But it's funny you asked that because it was.
Yeah, I know how we're going to do it. We're going to replace you.
Nick.
Coach Nick Eatman, DallasCowboys.com. Micah was a guy that he rushed from left side, right side, sometimes in the middle. Not to give away what you're doing, but do you have guys that you feel that can kind of move around and be flexible like that?
Yeah, and we're going to be multiple. We're going to move guys around. I think I talked a little bit about some of the guys that play inside that have gone outside and vice versa. But I'm certainly not going to, like you said, give away the advantages. But yes, I feel very comfortable that we're going to move the pieces around, and we'll always be looking for matchups. I think that's what Flus and A-Dub, White Cotton, when I say A-Dub, you guys know that, but they're so good at is finding matchups and the type of rusher versus a certain guard or a certain tackle. Those things are really, really important.
You're not stuck because you're not capable.
Yeah.
You're stuck because
Cowboys are going to be fine. Cowboys are going to be absolutely fine.
Ed Warder, WFAA. You said that this was a unanimous decision of the front office and the coaching staff. That doesn't necessarily mean there isn't conversation and concerns expressed along the way. Were there people who needed convincing that this was the right thing, or was it obvious to all involved that it was the benefit outweighed the risk?
No, I think the conversations were always great, back and forth. Again, I'm not going to get into the different things that we talked about, but like.
See, Ed Warder, let me tell you about Ed Warder. I like Ed Warder. But I went back and forth with Ed Warder just a little bit. Ed Warder kind of answered what, everybody, Ron Bowski said, boy, you got called out by Ed Warder. So Ed Water has said this is, you don't trade Micah Parsons. He said you don't do this at this time of the year. And I said, yes, you do, because the Cowboys did. Yeah, the Cowboys did it. Yeah, you do it. You do it. You do it when you need to do it. He is I think he's of the opinion that it was a bad move and all of these different things as it applies to Micah Parsons. And so, see, Ed is being very sneaky and not so sneaky. Ed is wanting Brian Schottenheimer to do exactly what I'm telling you that Brian Schottenheimer is being very careful not to do. He doesn't want it to be, he's not going to tell anybody in the media that there was some disagreements about Micah Parsons not being on this team anymore. If Jerry said it was unanimous, I believe it was unanimous. Ed wants to say, hey, was there some people maybe pushing back? Was there a long discussion about Micah Parsons and blah, blah, blah? I don't know what else you want him to say. He is a part of the unanimous discussion. And he thought the Cowboys would be better without Micah Parsons also. Yeah, he's a part of that discussion. Point blank range. Let me read Go Dodgers up in here. He said, Micah Parsons, the one-trick pony, rushing the passer and creating holes for the running back while the Cowboys picked up Kenny Clark to plug those holes. Simple math. Yes, sir. Simple math. Yeah, I'm not sold on Arch Manning either. I don't know why people are just going crazy about Arch Manning. I don't really get it. I understand he's talented, but let's kind of see what this year turns out to be and then see what happens after that. Dominique says Sam Williams, as long as he cuts out the knuckleheaded plays on the field, he can really do something. He ready, man. Shoot, I'm telling you, this is the second time that there's this coincidence. So a lot of people don't realize that when Micah had released that letter and everybody was putting up their profile picture as Micah Parsons, Sam Williams changed his own profile and he put up on his profile of him wearing his own clothes, wearing his new brand. Man, I'm telling you, Sam Williams, I think, is sending some subliminal, I think he's sending some subliminal messages of, nah, bro, I'm ready. No, I'm ready. I'm ready to step up. And I think there's a lot of them here who are saying, I'm ready to step up. I want to show people that, no, I'm good enough to be that next big pass rush of the Cowboys. I'm excited between James Houston, Sam Williams, Dante Fowler, Donovan Ezraku. I'm telling you, those guys are going to get to the quarterback. They are going to get to the quarterback. You watch what I tell you. All right, y'all said there's an echo? The echo is on what? Brian Schottenheimer? Okay, hold on. I don't see. Okay, trying to figure out, is there echo on my mic or is it on Brian Schottenheimer? All right, I'm just catching up. Let me go down some. All right, is there still an echo or is that just on Brian Schottenheimer? All right, okay, looks like, okay, it's Brian Schottenheimer, y'all saying with the echo. Okay, can't figure out where that could be at. Let me see.
There'd be some times that you'd say,
I don't see it on my end. Y'all tell me if it's still echoing.
It was great, feedback. Well, okay, what about this and what about that? And sometimes when we'd have those conversations, it would generate other thoughts. But again, at the end of the day, it was a unanimous decision. And again, I wish Micah nothing but the best. And I really do look forward to seeing him before the game against Green Bay, but maybe not on the field.
Brad
Sham, Cowboys Radio 105.3 The Fan. In other news, you mentioned the two defensive backs you claimed a couple times. What do you like about them? Do you envision a competition in practice for the slot position? Now you've got the two guys you used back on the practice squad. And what did you like about the
guard from the Eagles. So,
yeah, well, I'll talk about Bridges first. You know, the length jumps off the film at you. You know, he looks the part. I saw
appreciate
him
you,
and
Greg
Bond
Johnson.
standing next to each other today, and, like, that's what they're supposed to look like. But he's just very, very comfortable in coverage. Like when you're watching him
Oh, it was 20 minutes ago. I'm
man-to-man
sorry.
coverage, he was so comfortable playing in all different types of press man-to-man. He's got great length. He's very aggressive in run support. You know, we talk about all the time, no house guests. For Stewart, he has the advantage because he knows the system, having played for Flus. We actually watched some of his clips from Minnesota, but also from him with Flus, and they only got him active, I think, one time last year. But here's a guy with tremendous ball skills. I think he had 12 interceptions. Brad, correct me if I'm wrong on that, in college coming out of Troy, 2 in the preseason a couple years ago. So that jumped off the film. And then, you know, for Trevor, it was a guy that we liked coming out. And, again, that center guard flex is something that's really, really valuable for, you know, any team. And so I think that was, you know, something that we were looking forward to, but we're always looking to try to upgrade and find different pieces that might make us a better football team.
Last one, Todd.
Do y'all not find it to be strange? This has to be the most relaxed I've seen Brian Schottenheimer in weeks. Brian looked pretty tense to me the last couple of weeks. Very, very tense. The last couple of preseason games, he looked very tense. Building up to the 53-man roster, he looked very, very tense. This is the most relaxed this man has looked in at least 2 weeks to me. In at least 2 weeks to me. This man looks so relaxed, it is insane to me. Again, LaQueen said it today. How do you spell relief? Michparsons. Micah Parsons. Traded. Traded. That's how you spell relief. This man looks relieved. He looks relieved, I'm telling you. He's ready to go. He's ready to go, and I think he's going to have this team ready to go. And I'm telling you, this year is going to be I'm so excited to see what Brian Schottenheimer turns into, because the one thing that Mike McCarthy never could do, he couldn't get us ready for the big games. Brian Schottenheimer has so many big games this season. It's insanity how many big games this dude has. And he got 2 big games the first 4 games of the season. The opener against the Eagles and then week 4 against Green Bay. Boy, you can't make this stuff up. I love it.
Have the players selected captains yet?
We actually voted on it today, and so I'll let you guys know when I get them all tallied up. And we are going to do, I think I shared with you guys, we are going to do year-long captains along with you know, a captain of the week based on guys that deserve it. But like I said before, I think it's really, really cool to be able to say you were a captain of the Dallas Cowboys in 2025.
Marty?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Man, I'm telling you. This is crazy to me. And I think it's a testimony to what just happened. Y'all got to explain to me, how do you be that calm, cool, and collected after a player like supposedly Micah Parsons gets traded? How do you be that calm, cool, and collected? How do you? Unless what Jerry Jones is saying is absolutely true. Unanimous. Absolutely unanimous. It's the only thing that makes sense. These guys, they can say anything they want to, but their actions are showing. Man, they ready for this guy to get gone, man. They're all glad. They're all glad. And again, I'm glad too. We're going to turn the page on it, because I think it was weighing too heavy on the team. I think it was a great move, because I don't think even if they would have signed Micah Parsons, I don't think he was ever going to be happy as it applied to the Cowboys. All right, so let's move on. I want to show you a clip that I found today. Kirk Herbstreit was talking about the Micah Parsons trade, and he gave his 2 cents on what he thought about it. I thought you guys would find this to be very interesting too. Let's check it out.
to this enormous trade of Micah Parsons to the Packers yesterday?
A little bit of a different take. I mean, if you're just going to look at it from the XO standpoint, I mean, you lose a great player physically, and obviously he could take a game over. But I look at this in a different way. This is a new coach trying to build a new culture, and your alpha, your best player is sitting out in a negotiation that's not working out. And not only that, but just some of the optics of it with some of the things he did during camp. It just wasn't good. And then the drama that's always with Dallas is going on and on and on between he and the organization and Jerry Jones. I think at this point it is probably best to just give him his opportunity to go to another franchise. And then Dallas can almost start over as far as inside the building, the culture of trying to build this thing from the ground up defensively. We know what you guys were just talking about what Dak and that offense can do. But if they're ever going to be a real contender, not only in their division but the NFC, they got to get better defensively. Now you say, how do you get better by losing Micah Parsons? I think you're just looking at that, like physically what he does. But what does he do behind the scenes to the culture of who the Dallas Cowboys are? For Dallas not willing to sign him, it must have been significant enough to say, hey, let's get rid of this guy, even though he's a great player, and let's try to build this thing kind of like the little engine that could. Us against the world type of.
Did I not say the same thing? I'm telling you. Did I not say the same thing? People are looking at only what this dude does. Pass rush. The Cowboys said the only thing this dude does is pass rush. He doesn't help us in the run game. He doesn't even help us in the grand scheme, really, as it applies to winning in the big games. Not to mention, he is a problem to the culture we're trying to build. Brian can tell me anything he wants to, but Brian knows full well how many times he talked to Micah Parsons. They said they wanted everybody wearing a jersey. He didn't wear a jersey. Then he comes out the next day with the jersey around his neck. Then he comes out with his beanie on. Then he comes out on his arm. He's coming out all kinds of ways, showing his frustration rather than understanding, bro, you're going to get paid, whether it was with the Cowboys or someone else. And again, he created a part of this mess. I'd been saying it and people were mad. And Jerry finally explained it. The dude negotiated more than once with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones gave him what he wanted. Turn him over to Stephen Jones. He negotiated what he wanted. They get the sheet together to send over to his agent, and then they're gonna try to pull the old trick of, now we're negotiating. What? Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Said you didn't have to be the highest paid player. Said it all depended upon how aggressive the Cowboys are trying to be. The Cowboys are being aggressive as they can almost be. Brought in George Pickens, trying to negotiate Ty Smith, trying to negotiate DeRon Bland, trying to get other players signed, trying to do all these things, but I guess that wasn't aggressive enough. Stop it. Same thing I said, Herb Street. This was the best move for the Cowboys and Micah Parsons.
And I know it sounds crazy, but I
no,
applaud Dallas and letting him go.
Yep.
And trying to build a culture of team instead of an individual. And we'll see what happens with Dallas this year. But I don't think this is a play for 2025. I think it's a play for 25, 26, 27, and beyond.
It's an interesting perspective.
Didn't I say the same thing? I'm telling you. The Cowboys are about to make a ferocious run for the Super Bowl. And the Cowboys didn't feel like Micah Parsons could really contribute in the way they wanted him to. There was no way you were going to have the culture that you wanted with Micah Parsons. And that's fact. You were never going to have that culture. It was always going to be about Micah Parsons. Always be about him. Robert Paulson. Yep, he said Michael was starting to smell his own farts. He was smelling himself. Yep. And you know why he was smelling himself? Because he's always listening to the media. He's always listening to the media. And the media, because a lot of people have to understand, this media talked them up because they hated Dak Prescott too. Because this media always wants to paint the picture that it's Dak Prescott's fault and Dak Prescott alone. I'm telling us, I 100% agree. And again, y'all already heard me. I was saying some of this stuff before I even heard Curb Hergstreet say it. But I'm telling you, man, this thing with Micah Parsons, it's crazy. And again, I hope they are on fire for people saying that this team is done because Micah Parsons isn't gone. Kirk Herbstreit sees it the same way I do. Man, no, they're building this team, man. And this dude was not going to help him do it. He absolutely was not going to help him do it. It was going to be all about him every single time. I'm glad the Cowboys made this move. Absolutely glad. All right, let's check out a couple of more here. There's a lot of clips popping up on X also about Jane Slater. Obviously, she was out there at the Star interviewing different players and stuff like that. And let me see. I got another one I want to show you. Let's see. See if we can get this one in with Cam Newton.
Detroit, even after this Micah Parsons pick, they're not better than Detroit. And you can't say, I don't even think that they're the best.
Now watch this. Cam Newton is going to say something that I mentioned today. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all gonna call me a prophet before it's over. I was saying this very thing today. If you look at who Micah Parsons got his sacks against, Washington, New York, Carolina. Washington, New York have not been the best over the last few years. They've improved exponentially, and they're saying that the New York Giants may have one of the best defensive lines in football. We're going to see what it do. But does he not realize the division that he's went into? The Minnesota Vikings, the Detroit Lions, and the up-and-coming Chicago Bears. These guys gonna be different. These teams are going to play different. They are. They are going to play different. They're going to be different. Detroit probably wins the Super Bowl last year if they don't get decimated by injuries on defense last year. They probably win the Super Bowl. Detroit was beating teams so bad that teams were complaining. The Minnesota Vikings, they now have their quarterback. Sam Darnold did a bang-up job last year. We're going to see J.J. McCarthy, I think his name is, he's been looking extremely well. He goes from a team that is probably going to be, I believe the Cowboys have a very good chance of being the NFC champs this season, being the number one team out of the NFC. He's going from a team like that to a team where Detroit is better than Green Bay, even with Micah Parsons. Minnesota may very well be better than Green Bay, even with Micah Parsons. The Chicago Bears are up and coming. We're going to see what they are. But again, hey, they've already won 11 games. They've already been winning games. So will he be the difference in them winning big games like he was not in Dallas, to be honest? Cam is spitting on this. Check him out.
In their division, they're not better than Detroit. Even after this Micah Parsons pick, they're not better than Detroit. And you can't say with a straight face that they are. You're not willing to take Detroit Lions over the Green Bay Packers. So for me, yes, are the Green Bay Packers the youngest team or one of the youngest teams in the NFL? Absolutely. Is Micah Parsons still a young player? Absolutely. These are things that you can grow and build upon. But when you're saying they're instant Super Bowl contenders, no, not so fast. Oh, I'm not going for that. Now, one truth that you did say, within the next 3 years, absolutely. You have, all type of combinations of young players and young talent, and you can go out and do whatever you necessarily need to do, but they still have to perform. I'm not looking at Green Bay as a threat to Philly when Green Bay is not even a true threat, or they have to go through Detroit to be a threat to Philly. I don't even think that they're the best team in their division.
See, this is what they do. Dan Orlovsky and people like this. They're quick to crown somebody. They're quick to crown somebody. And so they're basically saying, because the Green Bay Packers.
They're not better than Detroit, even after this Micah Parsons.
Because the Green Bay Packers got Micah Parsons. they're Super Bowl contenders. I agree with Cam Newton. The Detroit Lions have a juggernaut team. They have an absolute juggernaut team, man. They do. That team is a juggernaut. We'll see what they look like we'll see what they look like soon enough. But to just crown them immediately to say, yeah, man, they are champions. No, I'm not. I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement. No, we are not going to crown the Green Bay Packers the Super Bowl champions simply because they now have Micah Parsons. Crazy work. Absolute crazy work. All right, let's see here. I got another clip that I want to... Yeah, okay, I got you, Kirk Herbstreit. Yeah, he stood on business. He absolute cooked on this. So now I want to turn us on to... I want to turn us over to Kenny Clark. And I'm telling us, man, this dude, Kenny Clark is the exact kind of player the Cowboys were looking for. I think he's the exact kind of player the Cowboys were looking for. Let's go over here and check out some of the things that he's now saying. The Cowboys have uploaded quite a bit of stuff on him now. We had a little thing where he was coming into the Cowboys earlier today. I did a video on that. But now the Cowboys have a longer form video of Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark. Let's check him out in his own words today.
When my team pitched the idea, I thought it was
Man, I tell you what, the one thing I give Dallas Cowboy fans credit for, boy, they know how to welcome a player. They know how to make them feel welcome.
Man, I had just went to go to the store, got my daughter some ice cream, and got home, man. It was just random. Got the call. Definitely was shocked. I didn't really know much, to say. But man, after talking to Jerry and Steven and Shotty, I felt welcomed, and they made me feel at home, and it was dope.
How much were you kind of following just the Micah Parsons rumors in general? They've been kind of lingering for a little while.
Yeah, it was a lot of rumors and all that kind of stuff. I didn't know what the situation was going to be, but definitely heard all the rumors.
Was there a buzz around the locker room and guys probably theorizing that a trade might be coming soon?
Nah, we didn't talk about it much, but of course I heard the rumors.
What do you see as and what do they tell you is it like your role?
My role?
Here, yeah.
Man, I'm here to play ball, man. Whether it's nose tackle, 3-tech, I'm just here to be the best defensive tackle I can be.
One tech, that boy's nice.
Last year you were dealing with some foot issues. How healthy are you right now?
I'm feeling great. I had a toe thing last year, and got surgery, and all that stuff behind me, so I'm good.
How familiar are you with Oso Odighizuwa and his game and what he brings to the table?
Very familiar. I played with his older brother, Oa, back at UCLA, and of course he went to UCLA, so I've been knowing him for years, and I'm happy it all come full circle and we can play together.
Obviously, you played several seasons with the Packers, and Eberflus, who's now your defensive coordinator, he was head coach in Chicago. What do you know of his defense, and what can you be in his defense?
Man, it's attacking front. We trying to stop the run and get after the passer, get enough field. Physical. We're gonna run to the ball, and that's all things I'm about.
Kenny, obviously, Micah Parsons is one of the premier players in this league. People know about him. You're a 3-time Pro Bowler as well. What can you tell people who are familiar with your game about the quality of your game and what you have left in the tank?
Man, you guys just watch the film. I don't do too much talking. Watch the film.
Yes,
my
sir.
speak for itself.
What was your family?
He said go check the tape.
Man, they were shocked. Man, it was just, everybody was just shocked. But happy we're here.
How old is your daughter? She's school age?
Yeah, she my daughter's 4. She been smiling the whole time, and that's been what's great. What's been great about it. Both of my daughters, they've been, since I told her I got traded, they've been smiling the whole time. So I knew this was the right.
They gonna love the weather in Texas too.
They said, the right move, and it's definitely cool.
Is that her first time on a PJ?
Second time.
There you go.
Yeah.
The fan base here was obviously shocked with Micah leaving. Tough for a lot of them to take. What's your message to the fans in terms of the commitment that you'll bring?
Man, you getting a football player, you getting a dog, and a guy that's that's gonna give everything. I love football. This is what I love to do. I'm no nonsense. I just want to play ball, man.
Is this not what the Cowboys needed? Somebody that just wants to play ball. Don't want to be Stephen A. Smith. Don't want to be a sports personality. No, we need somebody that want to play football right now. You can do that stuff after football.
What I do.
Can you circle September 28th on your calendar at all? That game, the Packers come here.
Say it one more time.
Circle that game September 28th.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for that. Yes, sir. I'm excited, man.
How much do you balance?
How much do you feel an obligation?
You know, it's kind of crazy. We're talking about what Dak Prescott's going to do talking about what Micah Parsons is going to try to do to Dak Prescott. Well, what about what Kenny Clark is going to try to do to Green Bay? And let me tell y'all something that's really crazy to me. Micah Parsons will not be able to take as much to Green Bay about what the Cowboys are doing versus what Kenny Clark will be able to bring to the Cowboys what the Packers are doing. Because in the grand scheme of things, Micah wasn't going up against that defense as much as he's kind of maybe watching stuff, with them playing. And he doesn't even still know fully what Brian is going to do. He doesn't even fully know that. He doesn't have as much of much going through those plays, going through them as Kenny Clark has been with the Green Bay Packers for a minute now. Matt LaFleur is the offensive coordinator, man. He knows what this dude is. Kenny Clark, just like Micah Parsons is going to be after Dak Prescott, well, Kenny Clark is going to be after the Green Bay Packers too. This is going to be a game of chess. It's going to be a game of chess. I love it.
To sort of reassure the fans that are wounded by the Micah trade.
That's not my concern. My concern is to come here and play football, be the best defensive tackle I can be, and play ball.
How do you balance the pressures of
new salted caramel macadamia?
See, I love all the answers that he's given because the Dallas media is already trying to make this about the fan. What are you going to say to people going to say this? He ain't worried about it.
I'm just here to play football.
Just here to play ball.
Stopping the run has been a kind of a problem over here the last few years. They really talked about you last night as someone who could help be the solution for that. How much does that motivate you hearing that, and what can you kind of bring to this run defense?
Man, I'm just going to bring the physicality. I'm going to do my job. It take all 11 at the end of the day. It just take everybody understanding what they need to do, holding everybody accountable. One guy can't just stop the run. Everybody got to be on top of it. And, that's going to be my job is to do my job and be physical, play ball how I know how to play ball, and also get all the other 10 guys around me to understand, their gaps and where they fit in and, how we can stop it together.
When you got a contract extension, were you thinking, I'm retiring here because they took care of me?
That was my full plan. I thought I was going to be there for life, but I'm happy I'm here.
How familiar are you with Eberflus's scheme, and how long do you think it'll take you to get fully up and running?
We played a little bit of attacking scheme last year, so I'm pretty much caught up to it a little bit. A lot of the same principles and stuff like that. So, and once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go in the meeting rooms and get with coach and try to learn their playbook as fast as possible so we can hit the ground running against the Eagles.
What do you think of your first practice out there?
The atmosphere out there. Man, it was great. I was watching the indie drills. Just love how intentional everybody been, and just how everybody worked. Also leading the group, and just to see him, man, to evolve to what he is, and to see him lead, man, it was cool to see. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
So the expectation you feel is that you will be on the field against the Eagles?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
A couple of years ago, you came down here with the Packers and obviously got a playoff win. What do you remember most about that?
Man, it was a great game. It was a great game. There wasn't too many frowns. Yeah.
What do you expect the activation process to be, and what is realistic for you as far as a role 6 nights from now?
Man, like I said, I'm going to try to learn the playbook as fast as I can, and so I can just play as fast as possible. And I'm in shape. I've been practicing in Green Bay all camp. I ain't missed no time. So whether it's 30 plays, 50 plays, 20 plays, whatever it is, I'm gonna be able to play.
How does an attack front fit your game?
I can get off the ball with the best of them. I'm physical at the point of attack. I play with great hands and great leverage.
And what does it take in an attack front for a defensive lineman to really succeed? Is it that first step? Is it the confidence and the strength to go through? What really does it take?
Just knowing how you're gonna get blocked. A little bit of everything. I try to pride myself on being a complete player, and to do that, you gotta do everything well. You gotta have a great first step. You gotta anticipate what's coming. You gotta play with great hands. You gotta play with great effort. You gotta play physical. And I think I do all those things.
You mentioned your conversation with Jerry. What was his main message to you?
This trade wasn't getting done unless I was in it.
Yes,
made
sir.
me feel wanted right there. I'm happy to be here. I'm just blessed. I'm blessed.
Back on being a complete player, you have a pretty healthy number of sacks in your career. What's been your philosophy on pressuring the quarterback versus stopping the run and things along those lines?
My power game. My hands. And just playing relentless. At the end of the day, you can have all the pretty moves and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, you got to be relentless and have effort to the quarterback.
You mentioned being wanted. What does that do for you?
Man, it's everything. I just got traded, so they clearly didn't want me, and to hear this trade wasn't getting done without you, it's awesome.
You talked about your 4-year-old daughter.
Boy, I don't care what nobody say, boy. That man Jerry Jones is next level when it comes to players, though, bro. That boy Jerry Jones is next level, man. That man Jerry Jones is next level when it comes to this stuff, man. And Jerry's done the same thing with Pickens. And, man, I got a strange feeling the Pickens deal is going to get done so easy. I think the Ty Smith thing is going to get done so easy. Because you're not talking about the same kind of money that you were talking about with Micah Parsons. You're just not talking about the same kind of money. And I think those guys, they love this new atmosphere. I think they love the Dallas Cowboys. And I think those deals are going to get done. But, man, I'm telling you, Jerry knows how to welcome somebody. And, man, depending upon the play, and I got a funny feeling this guy's going to play so great for the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Cowboys defense is now, I was worried about it under Matt Eberflus, but now that they went and got this one tech that we know is a bona fide one tech, man, I feel so good about this Cowboys defense even without Micah Parsons. Man, I am so excited about this Philadelphia Eagles game because my biggest concern is that Saquon Barkley was going to run all over the Cowboys. I don't think it's going to happen now. I don't think it's going to happen now. These boys going to be ready, and they're gonna force. I think the Cowboys' game plan will be to force Jalen Hurts to beat them with his arm and not on the ground. Boy, I'm loving this dude, Kenny Clark, man. No nonsense, pretty much giving the same answer, and we needed a player like this. We needed a dog on defense. We got one. And I'm not talking about a diva dog. I'm talking about we got a dog. A dog. Somebody's not worried about all the other stuff outside of football. No, a dog. A guy who gets in the classroom. A student of the game. And he's going to get after it. Boy, whoo. Boy, let me read this super chat, boy. I'm telling you, man. Let me read this super chat. I'm excited, boy. Alex 4099. Appreciate that super chat. Woo. Alex said, I'm excited for this new era. Welcome to Dallas, Kenny Clark. Yes, sir. I'm Dallas. Yes, sir. Woo, boy. Alex says, DC4L, shout out to G for the great content. Best Cowboys channel on YouTube. Man, I appreciate you, my brother. Yes, sir. Woo. Alex, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Oh, I'm so excited for this Thursday game. These Cowboys are going to look so different. Boy, they're going to look so different. I'm excited. Let's go.
The trade, you know, they're not following trades and what that means. How do you explain?
I'm sorry.
To the family, to your daughter. For your 4-year-old, you say, "Hey, I got traded." They're like, "Oh, what is that?"
Yeah, she said we when I told her we was going to Dallas, she was like, oh, we going on vacation? I'm like, nah, we still playing football. Like we still here. We just going, we going a little bit away. But like I said, man, she been like, my daughter is super shy. If you know my daughter, and she been, man, when she met Jerry, like usually she don't want to shake no hands. She don't want to fist pump nobody. She ran right up to him, gave him a fist pump, a handshake, and just been excited. And that explains it in itself.
How do you
Yo!
If you're a man, these three are the only.
Yeah! Woo!
For 9 years, built a lot of good relationships there, and then in the span of 24 hours, it's even shorter than that. It's done. How do you compartmentalize those emotions around that? That's got to be tough too.
Yeah, man, it was tough, honestly. You spend so much time in one place, and you got, just you stuck in your routine, just everything. You know what I'm saying? And
redundancy.
This just happened. And it's just so fast. They just tell you traded, and next thing you know, you got Jerry calling you. We getting on the plane. Like I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? This is my first time being on another team, so it just happened so fast. But
I know there's happiness associated with it, but is there any sadness or anything else that you kind of feel with being?
No, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. Man, as long as I'm playing football, this is what I love to do.
Being an LA guy, you happy to see In-N-Out Burgers here in Jackson?
Oh yeah, man. That's the first thing me and my girl said when we got here. She was like, "Oh, I didn't know they had an In-N-Out here." And they got Whataburger too. So
Whataburger.
Training camp's close to home too.
Yeah. I'm out there in that area, like Thousand Oaks, in that area. So I'm right down the street. So that's cool. Yeah, they practice. We practice in Oxnard. So. That's awesome.
Have you had a chance to talk with Osa yet, and knowing that you're going to line up next to him?
Yeah, I've been talking to all these guys all day, man. We all just excited, about the future and, what we're going to do this year. We got to just keep pushing each other and be intentional about, every day, every second that we have with each other, grow with each other, and, just build that rapport.
When you got the news about the trade yesterday, was it like wanted to make sure it was true? I don't know who told you about it. I don't know if it's...
No, I got the call from the head man. I knew it was true when it happened. Like I said, it was shocking. I didn't really have much to say to nobody. It was just, everything just happened so fast. And, it is what it is. I'm here. And this franchise gonna get everything I got.
There's a fan sentiment that this team, they lost Micah Parsons, they got worse yesterday. What would you say to say that this team got better yesterday?
Man, my game speaks for itself. Like I said, how anybody else could feel or whatever the case may be, that's not my concern. I'm here to play football. I'm a football player. I'm a dog, and this is what I do.
You said things move so fast.
Yo!
The fact that a game is in 6 days maybe kind of help just kind of ease the transition where you just gotta, I gotta focus on football for the next.
Yeah, week. After this, like I said, this is all behind me, and I'm writing it into the film, and good thing we played them last year, the last game of our season last year, so I got a lot of film to look at. And, I can hit the ground running on that.
Your new head coach has made relationships a very known priority for himself. What have the early moments with Schotty been like?
Man, cool. I love his energy, man. Just, great guy. Haven't really got to know him too much, but from early on, man, just love his energy and love what he's been bringing to the team. I'm ready to go. I'm excited.
I apologize. What, if any, conversations you have with the Cowboys in the draft back in, 2016?
Man, I came up here for a visit. I came up here for a visit. I thought if I wouldn't have went second round, I thought I was coming here, honestly. It came full circle for real.
What are the biggest challenges of that Philadelphia offense?
It's really all just doing your job. You got to tackle well against Saquon. You got to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket and not let him scramble. That's the big thing, and let those drives get extended. And you got to set edges. You got to set edges in the run game, and you got to close and you got to close backside. running to the ball is going to be key. Getting turnovers is going to be key. You got to punch the ball out. You got to get turnovers, and yeah, I mean when we get a chance to get after the quarterback, we got to be smart, but at the same time we got to get after him.
You were a Man of the Year finalist. Just talk about your community, your off the field, and what you enjoy about doing that.
I mean, we didn't have too many role models coming up where I grew up at, and too many guys that do the things that I've been doing for my community, and I just think it's huge for the kids to see my face, when I'm in the off season, and just to spend time with me, and for them to understand that they can do the same things that I'm doing, whatever they job careers or whatever, they got that hope that they can do the same thing I'm doing.
Given the battles,
That's one right here.
Given the battles that the Cowboys and Packers have had over the years, especially most recently with the postseason, how surreal is it for you to have that star?
Say it again.
How surreal is it for you to have the star on?
Man, I mean, this is one of the most or the most historic franchise in the league. I mean, everything here is top notch. Everything here is big, man, and I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited. I can't really put it all into words. It's a surreal moment for me, for my family. My family is excited. They excited to be here, and like I said, this franchise gonna get everything I got. So, yeah, man, I'm excited about being here.
How's your ping pong game?
I ain't that good in ping pong. I ain't that good.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Sir. Nice to meet y'all. Thank you.
Yes.
The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com.
Yes. We got us somebody who is totally focused on football. Totally focused on football. I love it. Totally focused on football. Dude said, I'm a dog. Check the tape, bro. I love something that Bruce said. Appreciate this super chat. Bruce said, Dallas got a humble family man locked on football. Green Bay got a social media video, a social media video gamer that folds in the playoffs for $47 million a year, no refunds. Yes, sir. We got us a football player. Bruce, we got us somebody that fits the culture that Brian Schottenheimer is trying to build. Brian can tell me anything he wants to. I love the fact that Brian, he's going to say all the right things. But Micah Parsons did not fit the culture. This wasn't just a money move. This was an off-the-field move by the Dallas Cowboys. There is no doubt about it in my mind. No doubt about it in my mind. I want to run over here real quick. Let's see, there's a couple of more interviews on here. Well, actually, just one more interview, I believe it is. They have Marshawn Nealand. One of the things that actually has me really tripping is that some of these Dallas Cowboy quote-unquote sites have been giving farewells to Micah Parsons. I'm like, this is bananas to me. This stuff is bananas to me. Bro, you're no longer, I'm sorry, I just got a different way of thinking. When you're my ex, shoot, ask my wife. I don't even like when they mention your name. If a movie character has the same name as my ex, and I've been married 25 years, been with my wife 27 years, if I see the name of my ex in a movie, shoot, I'm turning that thing. I don't even want to see the movie with my ex name. I'm not friends with no exes on social media. I'm not looking for them. I'm not checking for them. I see them, and if I see them from a distance, I'm not trying to run up to them and speak to them. You my ex for a reason. I want no memories of you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When you my ex for a reason. You my ex for a reason. I'm not with all this stuff Brian talking about. Yeah, you part of the family. Nah, bro. Not with me. Not with me. You my ex. You are an enemy. Not with me. Let's check out Marshawn Nealon. I'm pretty sure they're about to bombard him with a Micah Parsons question. Let's check this out.
I think at first, I mean, I feel like I speak for a lot of the guys, obviously, being surprised, being like, whoa, you know, that's our guy.
You heard that ping pong going in the background?
But, you know, we had meetings with coaches, and, you know, they tell us, like, the coach tell us, like, hey, like, you know, it's football. Like, you know, obviously you can't expect somebody else to go out there and do a job that, you know, that all of us are in. So he's like, you know, all of us gets that, you know, opportunity to go out there and prove, like, yeah, we're great too. So.
Have I not been saying this? I already know what I would be telling this team. Hey, they said we nothing without Micah Parsons. This is your opportunity to show it, that we are something. This is your opportunity to step up and take this role on this team. It's your opportunity to show this league what you have. I'm missing it. I'm telling you, I'm missing it. I would have this attitude. If I was these coaches, I would be telling them, man, these guys talking about we trash without Micah Parsons, man. What you going to do about it? What you going to do when you step on the field? Shoot. Boy, this thing with Green Bay just turned into a battle that I don't think nobody ever dreamed it would be. But this is going to be a battle. And he is exactly right, bro. It's time to show what you can do, too. Nealon is another one of these players that's going to be great for the Cowboys and stopping the run. He is our DeMarcus Lawrence replacement.
Yeah.
How do you think Kenny Clark changes in the game?
Say that again?
How do you think Kenny Clark changes in the game?
Obviously, you know, he's an all-pro guy. Definitely going to be able to come in. Obviously, we hear about he's a great character, great person. So it's going to be really exciting to be able to just see him come in and, you know, probably do a lot for us. Obviously, we got guys like Osa and Sally, and it's going to be great to have him inside, too, to, you know, help out.
How did you find out about the trade?
I got a text from Micah. He was like, I'm sorry it had to happen like this, and that's all I read. And I was like, put my phone down, like, yeah, that's it.
What else did it say?
Can't remember exactly, but basically just saying, you know, he loved us, and, you know, he's sorry it had to happen like that, but, you know, and I think all of us really came back and, like, you know, we support him, and obviously you got to do what you got to do.
Was that like a group chat?
Yeah.
Was practice a little different today? Even though he hadn't been at practice in a sense, but he was here in the building. Was today a little different?
I feel like, you know, like I said at first, just coming here, we was all like, you know, surprised that was going to happen. But, you know, after, you know, meeting with coaches and obviously, you know, Coach White kind of, I can't cuss, but he's a real coach, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so, you know, he kind of just like lifted our morale. I was like, okay, like, yeah, that happened. And, you know, we can't go back and change anything or whatever, whatnot. So, you know, we got to push forward. We got to, you know, show that we still going to be great, you know?
Somebody got to tell somebody. Same conversation I had with Ed Water. These are grown men. Stop this stuff, bro. Acting like these not grown men. Man, these grown men playing this game. Acting like they gonna all say we giving up because of Micah Parsons. We finna rebel. We're not gonna play because Micah. What? Please stop it. Man, stop it. 15 minutes in the locker room, you get this out of the way, man, you back to, hey, man, it's business as usual, bro. It's business as usual. We are not finna be hanging our head down because Micah Parsons is no longer on this team. Stupid, man. I'm telling you. Let me read some of you guys' comments in between this, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I got a super chat real quick. Alex 4099, appreciate you. Alex said, glad we turned the page. We got a 3-time Pro Bowler who can stop the run, save $30 million in cap space and 2 first-round picks. Boy, I am exactly with you. He said we need to stop the run. Alex, it's the one thing that has been our Achilles heel. We haven't been able to stop the run in these playoff games. Go back and look at how many yards we gave up on the ground in these playoff games. We have not been able to stop the run. And even when we did stop it to a degree, we couldn't stop it when it counted. We couldn't stop it when it counted. We needed a change. We absolutely needed a change. We did. Let me go through some more, and then we're going to get to some more of these comments. I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight.
So, with Micah traded, obviously Dante Fowler is now the elder statesman, which means it's a lot of young guys like yourself who are trying to prove themselves going forward. How important is it for this defensive end room, especially you young guys, to hit the ground running against the Eagles?
It's definitely important. We talk about it all the time. Like, whether he was here or not, it's going to be important for all of us to really go out there and produce. Just playing an attack front, that's just what this was going to have to be anyway. So now we all really get to show, what we get to do.
See? People don't understand this game, man. The guy behind you, let me tell you something. I'm just telling you. People don't understand this game and the people in this game. You don't think the guy behind you thinks he's better than you? And I mean, if you're Michael Jordan, you're probably not thinking this. You know what I'm saying? But, but when you're looking at players in front of you and you know you got skill, you're not looking at that player in front of you like he's better than you. Micah Parsons was a made man. Nobody was taking his spot. But I guarantee you these other guys are saying, well, hey, man, we can do this. We can do this too. We can rush the passer too. And this is their opportunity. I'm telling you, when someone in front of you either is traded or goes down, your mindset isn't, uh-oh, we're in trouble now that he's down. No, your mindset is, uh-oh, hey, it's my opportunity. Thank you, God. This is my opportunity to show these people that I'm good. Show them. It's a great opportunity. I'm loving every bit of this. Ooh, Chow 714. He said, crazy the difference of how Dallas received him than how Green Bay received Micah Parsons. Chow 714. Let me tell you something that Michael gonna realize, and I said this before. Boy, you have not been loved until you've been loved by the Dallas Cowboys fan base. The Dallas Cowboy fan base is so hungry for a championship that anytime we bring in players that we believe that can help us win this championship, boy, you got the key to the city almost. This city loves George Pickens. Now, this city is going to love Kenny Clark because now they see them as two pieces that can really help us to get to where we want to get. Boy, I'm telling you, there is nothing. I don't care what anyone says. I've never felt it before, but I can tell you this. I got to believe that there's nothing like being a Dallas Cowboy. There's nothing like it. Alfredo Morales up in this thing. What's going on, Alfredo? What's going on? Good to see you tonight. Daniel said, watch Kenny Clark disrupt havoc against Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs. Oh, yes. I 100% believe it. Robert said, this dude looks like a real leader. Him and Bland got this. I do. I believe it, too. Gabe Guerra said, I will say this about 30-year-old Kenny Clark. He's coming off a foot injury and didn't play his best last year with Green Bay. He's played in 3-4 defense his whole career, except last year. Yeah, he's going to be good. He's going to be good for us. Super Watcher 79 said, Micah already lied to the media in Green Bay, talking about he ready to focus on football, knowing doggone well he just want a podcast. Guys, wouldn't it be crazy if he stops the podcast when he gets to Green Bay? Wouldn't that be crazy? My sister Brandy up in this thing. Brandy, what's up? She said, tune out the news, Clark. Brandy, this man's already said, man, all I'm here to do is play football, man. I'm not here for all this stuff, man. Shoo. Micah Tyree, this guy sounds like a leader. Shoo, you better see it. You better see it. Alfredo said, watch Easy wreak havoc and give his guys in front of him fits. I agree with you. I think it's going to be, Super Watcher said, he's our Aaron Donald. Yes. He's really going to free up the backers and give some easy picks to the defensive backs. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Woo. Paul, I'm so excited, man. Gabe Strick8 said, Green Bay also will be faced with the same issues we had with the run. Gabe, you just made a great point. They gave up a run stopper for a pass rusher who does not play in the run game. But they seem to be saying he's going to play in multiple places. We're going to see. We're going to see. My sister, Miss Matrix, she said, hit that like button. I'm with you. Hit that like button. Dallas fan, he said, this is our leader, Big Kenny Clark. Let me tell you what I'm excited about. Let me tell you what I'm excited about. When Damarion Overshown come back. Whew. Boy, all we need is for this team to stay healthy. Damarion Overshown come back, it is going to be off the chain game. First game, Damarion Overshown come back. We're going to give away some Damarion Overshown jerseys. Woo! Boy, I can't. Whoa. Man, this team is going to be so much. It's going to get better as the season goes. Reality Cowboys said after listening to Kenny Clark and watching this tape, we got an awesome defensive line. Pass rushers in droves and the run will be stopped. Yes. We're going to win a lot of games. Woo! Yes. 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 I'm telling you, this team is going to be fire, man. This team is going to be fire. Andrew said, "G, do you remember when Michael wrecked our defense training camp because of his speed in our old offense scheme?" Man, I really don't. I mean, I really don't. But remind me, I don't, man. But I tell you this, boy, whew, I love it. Gabe said, for the record, he said, I think Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons are both snakes. You know what, though, Gabe? Let me tell you something. Let me read the rest of the comment. He said you can't trust either one of them, especially when money is involved. The hype for week 4 at Dallas will be like LeBron James playing Cleveland in 2010. Gabe, Jerry seemed like he turned a new leaf to me. Jerry seems like, and I said this and people got mad and they were like, Jerry ain't moving different. Nah, man, Jerry moving different. In years past, Jerry would have caved to Micah Parsons and would have signed him. Jerry didn't cave. This move was about the team. I got to give Jerry credit. This was a move about the team. People won't give Jerry Jones credit for it, but I will. This was a team move for Jerry. It really was. Alfredo said, G, remember when I said that Jerry was going to tell Steven to move over Junior? Yep. I sure remember when you said it. Move over Junior, let the old dog show you how to wheel and deal. I remember when you said it too. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm telling you, Daniel, I remember when he said it. Michael Tyra said Jerry Jones tried to give Michael the Dallas Cowboys for life card. Michael, I said it the other day, and he didn't accept it, so good luck to Mike. It's time to turn the page and go Cowboys. Man, let me tell you, Kenny Clark got me so excited, man. I'm telling you this dude. Whew. Bam Bam says, Jerry traded Michael to Green Bay and breaking their salary cap might have been more strategic than I thought. Boy, he broke that salary cap. All right, let's listen to the rest of this. Let's check the rest of this out, man. He did, though.
Moving forward, obviously, that's what you have to do with game week now. But coming in here this morning, what were the emotions like just coming back together for the first time since the trade?
I mean, like at first, everybody was just kind of like shocked that it happened. I think it was a little bit, but, you know, obviously we all grown men, so, you know, we kind of not get over it, but, you know, we kind of just move past it and, you know, ball it up and throw it in the trash.
Didn't I say it? I told Ed Water, man, these are grown men, bro. These guys are literally wanting these players to say, what was your first reaction when y'all came together as a team? Ooh, we cried. We cried because we were so sad. Bro, we grown men up in here. We got mouths to feed. We got careers of our own to make. Bro, we here to play football. We're not worried about all this stuff. Yep, it's sad. Now, we got glad, same way we got sad. We are on to the Philadelphia Eagles. We got our run stopper, and we're ready to go. Boy, people crazy, bro. The way they try to bring stuff out of people. Ooh, what was y'all feelings? It is what it is. And let me tell you something. These players, I believe, they've been anticipating this. I believe they've been anticipating this. As Tucker Aguilar, he said, Kenny Clark is from San Bernardino, South California. Southern California, that's the next county for me. Yes, sir. Let's go. Super Watcher 79 said they got this full last season highlights on YouTube. It came out about a year ago. Yeah. Yeah, this man is nice, man. He's nice. Hot Boy said something crazy. Hot Boy 2390, I agree with you. This guy makes you think why we didn't make this move a while ago. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And let me tell you something. You want to shock the world? Go out there and beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And let it be because Kenny Clark clogged up the A and B gaps. Let it be because Kenny Clark stopped Jalen Hurts from stepping up in the pocket and running through the middle, or Saquon Barkley hitting us up through the middle. Let it be because of Kenny Clark. I'll give it until we play Green Bay and they'll be saying Micah who. Boy, I'm telling you, I love it. I love it.
Like, okay, it is what it is. Like, how can we get better?
Israel who said, obviously, this is not a funeral. He said he's going to keep contact with Micah. You talked about Micah texting you. You know, is that relationship going to continue going forward as far as him mentoring you and you being able to pick his brain?
Definitely. I think, obviously, as far as he's expressed, his love is obviously with the Cowboys and always have and always will be. So I think, you know, being here and being able to be here being here a year with him, it was just a great, you know, development, and got to see how he worked and how he attacked the game, and you know, it was all good, and there's always going to be love there. So
what are your feelings about September 28th when he comes here with the back?
That's going to be an exciting game to play in. So yeah.
Weird?
Maybe a little, but you know, it's all the game. So
it's a fun competition as far as who can get the most sacks.
Definitely.
It's just a week before such a high-profile opening and kind of this shocking development. Is it better that you're playing quickly, or how do you look at that part of it?
Say that one more time.
Is it better that you're playing a game so quickly after news like this?
I mean, I guess it's kind of one of those things that you happy that it got done before the season fully started, so that it's not like we're the day before a game or the day after, and you know, we're kind of like in there. You happy that, you know, it happened. It is what it is. It's in the past now, and now, you know, we lock in on, you know, what we got here.
How do you feel about just, you know, the rest of the group being able to step up?
I have faith in all my guys. I think everybody in the room is going to be able to, you know, push forward and, you know, do what we got to do and, you know, make the most of it.
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. I think this team has already been prepared for this. I think they've been prepared for this. I think a lot of the leaders were already prepared. I think Dak Prescott was already prepared. I think a lot of these players were already prepared for what we're talking about. I want us to listen to a little bit of Michael Irvin. I'm not going to go back. I don't want to go back and listen to the whole Michael Irvin thing. But I want you to hear Michael Irvin's second response. Michael Irvin's second response to Micah Parsons leaving the Cowboys. And I think he really said some things in this that's very powerful. Let's check it out. He pulled it up. I got the wrong, I have all this stuff already pulled up, but I got the wrong link. But I want you to check out what he said, because I think it's very powerful as it applies to Micah Parsons. And I really think that Michael is saying this. Okay, hold on. Yeah, Michael is saying this because he realizes that Micah Parsons did lose. Micah Parsons lost in this deal, y'all. He did. And Michael Irvin is going to explain how. Let's check him out. Michael Irvin's second reaction. Check it out.
I am absolutely in a state of shock right now. What's blowing my mind is I just, less than 5 minutes ago, finished an all-day press junket for Netflix promoting America's team.
I'm with you, Brandy. Micah not.
5 minutes after I hang up the phone or get off the Zoom with Kay Adams podcast, on the podcast, I explicitly talked about, as a matter of fact, on every interview today, I explicitly talked about no way Jerry or the Cowboys will trade Micah Parsons. No way it's going to happen. I said I'll put everything on this. Jerry is not that crazy and not that stupid, and he's certainly not dumb. No way is he trading Micah Parsons. They just traded Micah Parsons. I don't even know what they've got back. I can't even tell you these details. I don't know. I mean, when I'm telling you, I literally just finished. And they gave me this, my phone's blowing up. Everybody's texting me. My phone is blowing up right now.
I didn't believe it either.
This is exactly what I was scared and worried about. And I tried to say that I wanted Micah to try to take control of this, because right now, you see what has happened. This isn't about football. This was about personal emotions, and it just got to a boiling point where it was like, okay. You think you but it hurts. This, no doubt, hurts.
Yeah. Y'all remember Michael Irvin was tripping when the Cowboys first hired Brian Schottenheimer too. Y'all remember that? It didn't take long. It didn't take long for them to change his mind. The Cowboys defense, they're going to look very good against the Philadelphia Eagles. You watch what I tell you. Cowboys are going to look really good against the Philadelphia Eagles. It is not going to take but 1 or 2 games for everybody to really start saying, okay, this was a good move. This was a good move. It's not going to change. It ain't going to take much to change Michael Irvin's mind. But this was a good move. But I want to get to a certain part. I only listened to a little bit of this, so I don't know where it is. But let's let him keep going.
Hey, stop playing with your fanny pack.
Yeah, I really wish that Michael would have taken control of this. I can't imagine this is what he really wanted. I just cannot imagine that he really wanted to be leaving Dallas. I don't. And when I start talking and thinking through this and looking through this and look how this has transpired, think about it. I told you the best part of this whole deal, the whole while, is that Michael and Jerry are talking. Michael and Jerry were talking. I was even optimistic that something would get done because Michael and Jerry was talking. Jerry told you right here that, about our relationship, and we always kept talking. And as he said to me, we're going to be doing business 30, 40 years later, and we are still doing business. I know he wanted that.
Yep.
With Micah Parsons.
He tried to give him the family card.
I know he loved Micah Parsons.
Micah posted on X that he was never leaving David Mulugeta.
Right here, something had to go down that hurt Jerry personally to make this crazy, dumb move. The Gambler and his Cowboys is the series that is out right now. This is a gamble the Gambler should not have taken.
I think it's the biggest one of the biggest ones of his career.
Opinion. The last personal thing with Jerry, that was with him and Jimmy, that got in the way, I believe, of a Super Bowl that year. There's a good chance this personal thing, this time, with Micah and his agent, I thought it has a good opportunity to get in the way of it. I thought it was a Super Bowl.
Now see, Michael Irvin, my favorite Dallas Cowboy of all time. Michael Irvin is doing something that a lot of people do. They're only looking at the Micah Parsons part. They're totally discounting what Kenny Clark is bringing to the table. Totally discounting. Totally discounting James Houston. Totally discounting Dante Fowler. Totally discounting Donovan Ezeraku. Totally discounting all of these players, Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon. Totally disregarding these players. I'm telling you, man, this is crazy when we do stuff like this to me. We're acting like, or people act like Micah Parsons was, I mean, let's just be honest. We're acting like he was, not we, but people are acting like he was Lawrence Taylor. And I always laughed when people made that comparison. Micah Parsons is not in the same stratosphere as Lawrence Taylor was. But we discount everybody. If Micah Parsons was the key to us getting to the Super Bowl, then explain to me why hasn't he been the key in 4 playoff games? Why hasn't he been the key in these games down the stretch? Why hasn't he been the key in games such as the Buffalo Bills? Why has he not been the key in games that would have gotten us to 13-4 rather than 12-5? What are we talking about? Michael Irvin ought to know better than anybody. Everybody thought the Cowboys were insane when they traded Herschel Walker. They thought they were insane. A lot of people do not realize Herschel Walker was revered as a generational player. Herschel Walker was an athletic freak during his time. He was an athletic freak. He was the most athletic football player in the NFL when he came to the Cowboys. I mean, he was winning all these doggone player competition stuff. This dude was crazy with it. People thought they were crazy for trading trading Herschel Walker. How in the world do you discount? Marshawn Nealon is alluding to it. I've been saying it straight out. And I don't even understand how a fan base does this, to disregard. Man, if we're talking about Dak Prescott, I totally understand it. You're talking about the quarterback who touches the ball all the time, throws it, hands it off, runs with it occasionally, calling plays, calling audibles. He's doing so many things. You're talking about a person that merely rushed the quarterback. Didn't even play within the system because they just let him kind of do what he wanted to do. To disregard all these other players is crazy to me. Even when I would hear people say stuff like this year, Micah Parsons, you can't replace Micah Parsons even with multiple players. Are you crazy? You're telling me that the Cowboys with 4 number 1 draft picks, you're telling me that in those 4 picks, there's no way they get another or even someone better than Micah Parsons? Man, you got to really be careful listening to this media. This modern day media will tell you a dog is a cat and a cat is a dog. This modern day media will tell you anything. And one of the worst things that happens to us a lot of the time, we become prisoners of the moment. And Michael Irvin, I love Michael Irvin. He's my favorite Cowboy. Favorite wide receiver of all time, I should say. Michael Irvin is being a prisoner of the moment. Right now, he's being a prisoner of the moment. I think Michael Irvin, as the days go on, Michael is going to start changing his tune on this. And he's going to say later on, I got a strange feeling. You remember you heard it from me first. Michael Irvin will say later on, maybe I was wrong about this Michael Parsons thing. Maybe I was wrong. The Cowboys look actually good. Michael is being a prisoner of the moment. Let me read this. Super Watcher said, I can't wait to see him pout in Green Bay. I wonder what the headlines are going to be. Gabe Strick 8 says, Dallas offense should be lethal. It will be top 5 in the league. I agree. WT3 Work, he said, Michael recorded that fake happiness video running around like he was completely happy. Boy, I saw it. He cooked in Green Bay with the size of that contract. Better produce in the playoffs to be accepted in the cheese land. Yeah, he going to find out real quick. When they bill you, they can kill you. When they bill you, boy, they get to destroy you. Bolivar 2919, I said the same thing. He said, to be honest, the locker room needed this. People are going to be surprised. You know the whole NFL wants Jerry to look stupid. I'm hoping we can actually stop the run, and I think they will. I think they absolutely will. Daniel said, I'm going to say it with my chest. We're going to go 12-5. Boy, that'll be great, especially in Shotty's first season. Bruce said it. Michael craves attention. Man. Alex 4099, appreciate that super chat. Alex 40 says, G, in your opinion, do you think both teams won this trade? No. I think the Cowboys won this trade. I think it's a short-term gain for the Packers, but I think in the long run, the Packers are going to suffer for the amount of money they're giving Micah Parsons. The Green Bay Packers, if I'm not mistaken, they're not only paying Micah Parsons that huge salary, they're also eating Kenny Clark's salary too. If I'm not mistaken, I saw it today. I think they're eating Kenny Clark's salary. So at the end of the day, Alex, the Cowboys gain cap space. The Cowboys gained 2 first-round draft picks. The Cowboys got a run stopper that they've been so clamoring for that they hadn't been successful with in the draft. They had already replaced Micah Parsons right underneath our noses while we were not paying attention. They replaced Micah Parsons. The Cowboys won this in the long run. And I think time is going to prove the Cowboys won this in the short run. The only way the Green Bay Packers win this in the short run is that the Green Bay Packers get to the Super Bowl. But the thing is, I can tell you this. If all things go well, the Cowboys are going to be seeing Micah Parsons every single year in the playoffs. Even if they don't play him in the regular season, they'll see him in the playoffs. But I think the Green Bay Packers lost on this, especially long term, unless they get a Super Bowl.
Opportunity. You add the offensive weapons to put the points on the board with George Pickens. Now you're going to need a pass rusher to get to the quarterback because they'll have to catch up, and you let Micah Parsons go. Or you traded Micah Parsons. God almighty.
So what about Dante Fowler, Michael Irvin? What about Dante Fowler? Dante Fowler had 10 sacks last year. What about Dante Fowler? What about Donovan Ezeraku? We know he's a rookie, but just like if Micah Parsons can get whatever he got in his rookie season, he's got 52 sacks over 4 years. He's averaging more than 12 sacks a season in 4 seasons. So why can't Donovan Ezeraku do this? Donovan Ezeraku is more of a technician than Micah Parsons ever was. Donovan Ezeraku is a technician. I don't understand this mentality of we're saying that Micah Parsons, I could see us saying this last year, but with what the Cowboys have added, we're saying this? This is crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me. It is.
I am disappointed that Jerry and the Cowboys decided to trade Micah Parsons. I'm hot about that. I'm hurt for Micah Parsons that he let it get to this place.
Well, Dak told him don't make it personal.
Stop talking with Jerry and just cut the lines of communications, I guess. And it has gotten to this. And let's be real, peeps. Let's be real. As this falls off, as fans, we lose. Because Michael, you know what Michael is. But as fans, I think we are the biggest loser.
I know.
Having Michael on the Cowboys. But out of those 3 principles,
this is what I wanted you to hear.
Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones, and the agent, out of those 3, Jerry Jones isn't going to lose. Everybody's going to pile in that stadium, and they'll still be an owner of the richest, most valued franchise. Won't lose a dime. The agent won't lose. He'll still go about doing the great job that he has been doing for every one of his clients. Out of these 3, Michael's the loser. I know you guys are right now saying, Michael, no way. Michael, no way, Micah is a loser. And I'm with you. If he got $188 million for 4 years, guaranteeing $136 million. Those are early numbers I heard. I think all of that stuff will start coming in because this is fresh off the press. You'll say, ain't no way in the world you can say he's losing with 188 million, 136 guaranteed. I guarantee. That's so great for him, but he has so much more in store for him if he had stayed with the Dallas Cowboys. I want you guys to watch now, unfortunately.
Yep. Right there.
And come back and talk to me later to see if he lost $100 million in his podcast deal. I want to see the kind of attention his podcast gets now.
I said the same thing.
And I'm just saying I'm hurt for Michael because and I say he's the biggest loser because he had so much more out, not just this deal, so much more out there for him.
Yep.
Beyond this deal.
Mm-hmm.
If he stayed with the most visible franchise.
Yep.
in professional sports. Man, and I'm just hurt for him, man. God almighty. Think about it. Jerry said it. He said we had a great relationship going, and then this third person comes in here and start interjecting, telling me to shove it up mine, and now Micah Parsons, no longer a Dallas Cowboy.
Woo!
To the Green Bay Packers. Massive deal, averaging $47 million a year. I don't know, what is Garrett command? 44, 43? So that's a massive deal. They would have been somewhere between that 44, 47. The Cowboys were going to be there. Ultimately, the Cowboys were going to get there.
Is what it is. Let me show you something that I looked up. Somebody had posted this. I want to show you something about Donovan Ezeraku and why the Cowboys ought to be excited about Donovan Ezeraku. And a lot of people are underestimating and saying stuff. Let me pull up something else before I look at this. I mean, it's crazy to me that people are totally discounting Donovan Ezeraku like this dude can't play this game. Okay, I want to see. Trying to see how many sacks had Micah Parsons got per season. Okay, here it is. Okay, so Micah Parsons has 52.5 sacks. Micah Parsons had 13 sacks in his first season, 16 games played. 13 sacks. Let's look at something else. Okay, so Micah Parsons had 13 sacks in his first season. And what I was trying to see is who did he get those sacks against? But that's probably something for another day. Let me see here. And maybe I can't. Hold on a second. Let me see. What year is this that Micah Parsons? I was trying to see. Trying to see if I could actually see the games that he got him. But let's just say he got 13 sacks in his first season, right? So I want to show you Donovan Ezeraku as it applies to what he did at the Combine Pro Day. Combine Pro Day results. Micah Parsons, I don't think he did the Combine. He did a Pro Day. Donovan Ezeraku did the Combine. So I want to show you what their stats look like, and they're very comparable. Donovan Ezeraku is 6'2.5". Micah Parsons is 6'3" in a 1/8. Donovan Ezeraku is 248. Micah Parsons is 246. Micah Parsons ran a 4.39 40. He's very fast. 10-yard split, 1.59. Donovan Ezeraku did not run these. But this is the part that I want to show you that people underestimate about Donovan Ezeraku. Micah Parsons had 19 reps on the bench. Donovan Ezeraku had 22. Yeah, this dude is strong. When you look at the vertical jump, Micah Parsons had a 34-inch, I guess, vertical. Donovan Ezeraku, 35.5-inch vertical. Broad jump, Micah Parsons, 10.6. Donovan Ezeraku, 9.11. Three-cone drills, 6.94 seconds for Donovan Ezeraku, 6.96 seconds for Micah Parsons. 20-yard shuttle, 4.19 seconds. 20-yard shuttle for Micah Parsons, 4.40 seconds. Look at what this says. Parsons has elite speed. But again, Donovan Ezeraku didn't run a 40. But look at what it says about agility. Ezeraku wins in agility. While Parsons had a strong three-cone time, Ezeraku posted a faster time in both the three-cone and 20-yard shuttle, tested measured quickness and change of direction. His 4.9 shuttle was the fastest among all defensive linemen at the 2025 Combine. I'm just telling us, man, this dude is great. Higher production. Ezeraku put up historic numbers in his final year of college, winning the Ted Hendricks Award and leading the ACC with 16.5 sacks. Parsons was also highly productive and was the Big Ten Player of the Year in his last full season before opting out in 2020. Strength. Donovan Ezeraku posted more reps on the bench press than Parsons, suggesting a strength advantage. You better believe it. And a lot of people were saying they had Donovan Ezeraku in the first round. Donovan Ezeraku was a first-round projection. He wasn't actually, Donovan Ezeraku wasn't projected to be in the second. And I think we're going to be looking back at Donovan Ezeraku years from now, and we're going to be saying, we can't believe we got this dude. Let me pull up something else on him. We're not going to be able to believe we got Donovan Ezeraku in the second round. We're not going to believe it. Donovan Ezeraku is a steal for the Dallas Cowboys. And it is crazy to me that we're acting like if Micah Parsons had the kind of success that he had with the Dallas Cowboys in his rookie season, and if Donovan Ezeraku appears to be faster, stronger, quicker, and is more of a technician, has a full repertoire of moves, why are we thinking that Donovan Ezeraku can't do the same thing that Micah Parsons did in his rookie season? I don't understand it. I mean, people just have such a short, they really just have such a short memory. Why can't Donovan Ezeraku be better than Micah Parsons? I'm not even saying equal. Why can't he be better? Man, we paint pictures in our head that don't make sense. We paint pictures in our head that don't make sense. Donovan Ezeraku, as far as what we've seen from workouts and things of that nature, what we've seen from him in college, there is no reason why this dude cannot step up and be that next great pass rusher for the Cowboys. I don't understand it. Believer, appreciate that super chat. Well, I'll tell you this, Believer. I think Trayvon Diggs will be traded somewhere near mid-season. The Cowboys have got to show people what he is first. They got to show people what he is. Trayvon Diggs has no more guaranteed money on his contract after this season. I do not believe the Cowboys are going to bring him back. They say $13 million whether they trade him or release him. If there's one contract the Cowboys got right, it's Trayvon Diggs. They made sure he got all his guaranteed money. And during his guaranteed years, the Cowboys barely got any playing time out of him. 13 games, I think, in 13 games out of 35 possible games, including the playoff game, I believe. We'll see what they get out of him this year. So it looks like from what I've seen already, if you look at the Dallas Cowboys' current roster, according to what they're showing here, Trayvon Diggs is starting. Trayvon Diggs is playing Thursday. My fear for Trayvon Diggs is not coming back early. My fear for Trayvon Diggs is, will he be able to stay healthy the whole season? I just hope he's not coming back too early. But I do believer, Trayvon Diggs is next. I believe the Cowboys are going to trade Trayvon Diggs, absolutely. Absolutely, I believe they're going to trade Trayvon Diggs. If they don't trade him, if they let him play the whole season out, I truly believe that the Cowboys, I truly believe they'll either trade him or they release him. And I think they're going to try to trade him. I think they're going to try to, like I said, I think they're going to give him the opportunity. They're going to give him the opportunity to show the league what he has. And then when he shows the league what he has, the Cowboys will probably trade him. I absolutely see it happening. I see it happening. He says he wants to be a cowboy for life. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. No more guaranteed money. Some of the things that he kind of got involved with that he shouldn't have got involved with when it comes to Micah Parsons. Nah, I'm not going to be surprised. All right, let's go to our last story of tonight. Then I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. But boy, 105.3 The Fan. Woo-wee. Boy, 105.3 The Fan. Boy, they have been clowning on this thing about Micah Parsons. And they are not happy. And I think one of the things that may have even surprised them was the fan base's reaction to Micah Parsons leaving. And I think what surprised them is at how happy some people are. Let's see if this is the one I'm looking for. Let's check it out.
What do you guys think about the reaction? Are you surprised?
Of the fans?
Yeah.
I was a little bit. And, I always like to kind of try and get the pulse. And, the comment section, a lot of people were going in and saying, nah, man, you're wrong about this. No, you're wrong about that. And, no, we're okay. We'll be fine. And the picks, Micah, this and that and the other. And you guys were telling us this. And, and so you kind of get an idea of what everybody's thinking. But for the most part, it was like, hey, we're moving on. Good for Micah. Never did this, never did that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I was, to be honest with you, I was surprised of how many people, and I want to say it was more like a 60-40 for, hey, everything's going to be good.
Yep.
And I was surprised about that.
I think I'd go higher. And I wonder why. Why? What's the main reason?
I think the moment fans really started to turn on Micah was when he had Jordan Love on the podcast after that Green Bay loss at AT&T Stadium. And it's like, dude, they just got the 2 seed. He had a 16-game, whatever it was, home winning streak. We talked about at the time, it seemed like this is your best chance that you've had during this drought to finally make it back to the conference title game. You've got 2 home games if you win. And then it's okay, we'll play San Francisco or whoever ends up making it. But when you have Jordan Love and you're chumming it up and joking around, 2 weeks after they just kicked your ass and urinated all over the Star at AT&T Stadium, it was like, come on, man. You're fraternizing with the enemy over there. Like, we're still not over it. You clearly look like you are. How much do you care?
Yeah, it's a great point. That was extremely frustrating. And then I think a lot of people are pointing to the small sample size of the postseason and how he hasn't been a total game wrecker in those games. And then you couple the fact that he's pouting and requesting a trade and saying, I don't want to be a Cowboy. All of those things end up irking a fan base.
Yeah, I think all of his biggest games have come week 8 or earlier. I was looking at that last night and this morning. I think the lack of edge setting is a real thing. Although he's a productive run defender, he's better than average at it. I guess he's not a complete edge. The podcast is there. The big games are there. What would be your answer, Brian, on why fans, are happy? It looks like I was wondering if they believe in the Cowboys team building philosophy changing. That's to me is why I'm like, okay, cool. And instead of, paying your own guys and locking in. I think this might represent a philosophical shift of how we're going to get after it. And they just have never built a physical defense that was tough up the middle. So I hope this is the first sign that Schottenheimer is convinced the Joneses, guys, what you've been doing for the last 15 years is not what is going to win today. What's going to win today, you really need to be able to stop the run. Yeah. And I just haven't seen the Cowboys care about that in my decade and a half covering them, Brian.
Yeah, I think that the biggest issue, though, with the whole thing, I think when you start to talk about the defense and the
Andrew, I said the same thing. He said, I'm trying to say Micah was not on the practice field when Brian installed his offense. Yeah, all he got is speed, but he is not a student or willing to learn the system. He's our greatest wrecking ball. Yeah, I said it earlier. He was never a student of the game. He's not a student of the game. You don't hear about him being the first in the building, last out the building. You don't hear him saying stuff like that. Nope. And I don't think he knows hardly anything about what Brian Schottenheimer has installed. I don't think he knows anything. So he won't be able to give the Packers hardly anything versus what Kenny Clark is going to be able to give us about Green Bay. I mean, we might actually be able to finally crack the code on Green Bay. I'm serious. We may be actually able to we may be able to crack the code on these boys because of Kenny Clark. I had already said the Cowboys were going to beat them even before this whole thing. Fred Allen, but you're doing the same thing that a lot of people are doing. Well, can we give him the opportunity to do something before we write him off? Because the one thing I can tell you, Fred Allen, we know what Micah Parsons is. He's a one-trick pony. Fred Allen, he's a one-trick pony. And you or nobody else can prove anything different. He's a one-trick pony. All he is a pass rusher. That's it. He's an undersized edge rusher. And when you run at him, you run him off the field. Okoye Media has shown this. And Okoye Media has been an advocate for Micah Parsons, and he said it as much. He said, but I'm just showing you what the tape is showing us. This dude was getting mauled. Micah Parsons was getting mauled, and this was a football move. This was a football move. And you're talking about Jerry got his feelings hurt. Well, didn't Micah Parsons get his feelings hurt too? Fred Allen, you got to ask yourself. So you telling me you're going to go to Green Bay, play in the cold, and with the state tax, make the same thing or less than what Jerry Jones is going to pay you? That's not getting your feelings hurt? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And that's why exactly what Michael Irvin said. The one who lost in this trade was Micah Parsons. David Mulugeta got multiple clients. He's going to just get more money off those clients as well as Micah Parsons. Jerry Jones is still going to pack out stadiums. He's still going to have the most valuable sports franchise in the world. He's going to continue to make money. He's going to continue to make headlines. And now he's going to win without Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons in a 4-year deal, what will he be after football? What will he be? We don't know. But I can tell you this, he would have been a whole lot more with Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. There is nobody that can make you as popular off the field as well as on the field as the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons showed he is very sensitive. Michael Irvin even said as much. He said it. Michael isn't built like us. He's very sensitive. He is. Robert Simmons said last year in training camp, rookie Tyler Guyton, even when he was not good, he had Micah Parsons on his toes in training camp. He said, we play Green Bay week 4. I hope Tyler Guyton be healthy. Yeah, he gonna own Micah. Handled up on him. Because Micah is not like Donovan Ezeraku. Donovan Ezeraku has a treasure trove of moves. Micah beats you with speed and power. Donovan beats you with speed, power, and the moves. I'm just laughing at how people are acting like if Micah Parsons could get 13 in his first season, and especially when you think about the competition he got those sacks against. Well, why can't Donovan Ezeraku do the same thing? It's crazy to me. Child 714 said, gee, Matt Eberflus should use the same scheme the Green Bay Packers used on Micah to take him out the game when we play him. Jerry's already hinted at much. Jerry's already said, we're going to run right at him. We're going to run on him. Yeah, that's how you neutralize him. You run on him. Let's hear a little bit of this. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. Then we're going to get up out of here. But this is a very interesting conversation they're having.
Cowboys made such a big point about the emphasis of playing better run defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this should have been something that was even done before this whole Micah Parsons thing went down.
Absolutely.
100%. You had a whole offseason too. If you were this concerned about the run defense, make a separate trade for a defensive tackle.
Nope. Let's be honest with ourselves, Cowboy fans. Let's be honest with ourselves. We know why the Cowboys didn't do this earlier. The Cowboys tried to prove they were right about Mozzie. They tried to give Mozzie the opportunity. And what they noticed in training camp, what they noticed in the preseason games, Mozzie was inconsistent. Mozzie was getting blown off the ball. And they said, with all this stuff going on with Micah Parsons, he wants to be traded, blah, 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 the culture and all these different things. And I'm telling you, this was a culture move. They were never going to be able to be the culture they wanted to be with Micah Parsons. And that's why when you look at the body language of this team, I see relief. I see relief in Brian Schottenheimer. Marshawn Nealon didn't even act like this was even fazing him. And when you listen to other players and watching them, they're all just business as usual. Why would they be tripping anyway? Brand new coaching staff. They don't have no ties to Micah Parsons. At least 20 new players on the team. They don't have no ties to Micah Parsons. We got players who are coming back from injury. Well, they're looking for their own opportunity to try to get their big payday. Micah Parsons, out of the way, gives them more opportunities. There are just so many things that people don't understand. Man, this was a football move. This was a football move. This was not just an off-the-field move. This was a football move. And this team is going to be 1,000% better for it. People don't understand. This is exactly what Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin were talking about. Man, stop just looking at talent when it comes to teams. Stop just looking at talent. You got to look at the mentality of a player. You got to look at the mentality. Fred Allen, I'm just going to keep pushing back on you. I'm going to keep pushing back on you. Well, can we give him a chance? Can we give him a chance to do something? Nealon got hurt his first season. Can we give him a chance to do something? Sam Williams has been hurt. Can we give him a chance to do something? Donovan Ezeraku, can we give him a chance to do something? James Houston been hurt. James Houston is finally healthy. Can we give him a chance to do something? The same way we gave Micah Parsons a chance to do something? Do you not realize, Fred Allen, that James Houston in his last 7 games of his rookie season, he had 8 sacks? Did you know that, Fred Allen? And the only thing that slowed down James Houston was an injury? He had an ankle injury that slowed him down, but now he's 100% healthy? Let's give him an opportunity. We're writing off people before we even give them an opportunity. It don't make sense. Everybody gets the opportunity to prove themselves. Let's not say, what have they done? Let's give them an opportunity to do it. And now that they have Matt Eberflus, who seems to be a very good defensive coordinator, I'm very interested to see what they're going to be, and I believe they're all going to be able to be good. And we already know Dante Fowler. I noticed you didn't mention Dante Fowler. Dante Fowler had 10 sacks last year. I noticed you didn't mention Dante Fowler. Man, I'm good with this move. I'm great with it. I want to give these guys an opportunity. Give it to them. Give it to them. And this is another reason why you know this is a football move. They should have gotten more. You can't get more because I don't think there was anybody offering more. If somebody was offering more, the Cowboys would have took it. The Cowboys would have took it. And the Cowboys also wanted somebody with a defensive tackle. They wanted it, and so obviously there was nobody who was offering more or defensive tackle. I'm great with it. I'm great with this move. I'm great with it. I'm not a prisoner of the moment. Great move for the Cowboys, going to pay dividends in the long run. 26 and 27, I had already said Cowboys Super Bowl in 26. Now I even more believe it. 2 first-round draft picks next year. We won't even be thinking about Micah Parsons. We're going to be looking at next year going, wow, we got 2 first-round draft picks. Look who's in this draft. And the Cowboys are going to, again, exponentially improve their team. And they're going to be ready next season. You watch what I tell you. I love it. I'm absolutely loving it. Alfredo said, Stephen Jones after trade. Dad, you sure hit one out this time. Cherry's reply, Stephen, you think that was good? I just set the rail on low simmer. Set the rail on low simmer. Wait till April and watch your old man really cook. Yep. You wait until next season. We won't even be thinking about Micah Parsons. We're going to be so happy about them 2 number 1 draft picks because everybody who thinks, even me mentioned those might be low round draft picks, man, this is a battle of attrition. We don't know what happens. Green Bay could absolutely suck with Micah Parsons. I mean, absolutely suck with Micah Parsons. Man, them boys could wind up and this could be a top 20 pick. Top 20. We could be at number 18 or 19. We don't even know if the Green Bay Packers are going to make the playoffs this year. I think they will, but you never know. You never know. But I can tell you this. The Cowboys are now playing with house money. All the pressure's on Green Bay. You went out there and sold your entire future for one player that you believe is the answer to your Super Bowl. Okay. Just like I'm going to wait and see with the Cowboys, I'm going to wait and see with Micah Parsons. We'll see. Yep. Boy, hot boy. Let me see who just said this. Hot boy 2390, you just said a mouthful. Green Bay did accomplish one thing. They replaced Aaron Rodgers' attitude in that locker room. Yep. It's back. And he's already made the excuse for his attitude. He's already talked about it. He know what it is. He not dumb. He know what it is. He know what it is. Bobby Bottles, I'm with you. This happened all because Michael having bad character. Yep. I say it is he had bad character. Jerry's an old Southern white guy. When he shakes your hand, he makes a deal. He expects you to stand by it. Bobby Bottles, we saw it in the doggone documentary. Boy, when Jerry Jones found out that Jimmy Johnson might have been talking to the Jacksonville Jaguars, boy, he was furious. Jerry said there is a certain level of loyalty that is expected. Yep. He talked about it in this thing. Miss Matrix said, true Cowboys fan, okay, but people are not just saying that. Lots of people, including G and tons in the chat, are calling out Michael playoff stats when they're exactly the same as Garrett and Watt. Yeah. And again, I'm going to tell you straight up, what has Garrett and Watt done? Why am I comparing myself to those two? They haven't done anything either. They haven't done absolutely nothing either. I don't care about comparing them to them. I notice how selective people are. I notice how selective people are that they tried to select some people who, because I saw somebody post this on X. Hey, don't bother me. I don't care what TJ Watt and Myles Garrett has done. It don't change. It don't change what Micah Parsons has done. It don't change it. So what, those two players? They're the same way. That those teams, they have not propelled those teams past whatever place. Okay, they're the same two players too. They're the same two. But I noticed we didn't put Nick Bosa in that conversation. Strange to me. Why didn't we put Nick Bosa in that conversation? Why didn't we do it? Let me read a couple of super chats here. Edward Frazier says, forget LT. He could have been the next Ray Lewis or better if he played his natural position, but the media crowned him the next LT. Boy, I'm telling you, I believe so too. I believe Micah Parsons could have been the next Ray Lewis. I do. And had he played linebacker, I believe he could have been the next Ray Lewis. Believer said, G, do you think Dallas? Oh, okay. I missed Edward Frazier. I got you, Believer. Okay, let's get Dominique Pittman. Dominique Pittman, appreciate that one. Dominic Pittman said $38 million in cap room. No excuses, Jerry. Now, Dominic Pittman, I believe what Jerry is going to try and pull off with that cap space. We still got to sign George Pickens. Still got to sign Ty Smith. Still have to sign Brandon Aubrey. We got 3 players on our own team we have to sign. The Cowboys are going to use those draft picks to get players next year. And I don't think they're done this year. We're going to find out, but I don't think the Cowboys are done this year. I don't think they're done. I think they're going to continue to try to tweak this squad. I really do. They're going to try and tweak this squad. I'm good, though. Man, dang it, I don't know why these people keep talking about Arch Manning. Arch Manning ain't coming to no doggone Cowboys. I don't understand people with this conversation. The Cowboys would literally have to tank the season. Why in the world would the Cowboys give up 2 or 3 of those first-round draft picks for a quarterback? That's crazy work.
Obviously, Kenny Clark was on the market.
Yeah.
Could you have made a call for Kenny Clark? Were the Packers interested? But could you have made other calls? There could have been other things that you could have done. You're making us feel like that this Kenny Clark, as part of this trade, is going to fix your run defense.
Yeah, that was gaslighting.
And Kenny Clark's a good player. And there's going to be pressure on him to help with the run defense, and he's capable of doing that. Absolutely. Guy played hurt last year and, towards the end of the season, from what I understand. But it's one of those things where I think with this is the questions that I have. And I think that I would have stood up in the meeting if they said it was unanimous.
Yeah.
This is where I would have stood up in the meeting and I would have said differently. Or I would have asked this question. I would have been the one guy that would have been like, well, okay, why? Why are we doing this? Because if we have this much confidence in our offense, and I'm saying as an organization, maybe the media doesn't have any confidence, but the obviously the front office does. They're looking at the thing with George Pickens and Lamb and Ferguson and Dak and all that. There's, but they go out and draft offensive linemen. Got a couple of young guys that are going to have to play. But they seem to have really a lot of confidence in what their offense potentially could do with Schottenheimer calling plays. If, in fact, your offense is successful, you're going to put teams in run situations, pass situations.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a team that's scoring points and you're putting it happened, in 2016, right? Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you're putting teams in bad spots where they're having to chase points against you. You naturally take teams out of the run. What's the answer going to be if, in fact, your offense is good and you have no answer for how to create pressure to end games?
Here's my problem again. So explain to me again why now that Micah Parsons is gone, why are people jumping to the conclusion the Cowboys have no pass rush? If I was on this Cowboys team, this is the part that would be ticking me off beyond comprehension. You're telling me without Micah Parsons, Brian Broaddus, that you're telling me that they don't have not one other player on that team that can get pressure on the quarterback. Brian, I love Brian Broaddus, but that is a crazy take. And what makes Brian Broaddus think that they didn't actually have this discussion and say that if we bring in Kenny Clark, do we have other players that can get to the quarterback? I bet you they had that conversation. Come on, Brian.
You've taken that option away from you. So I was getting encouraged by Diggs coming back. Good news. Micah being a part of this. Good. That could have been really good news. But to now I have questions that if their offense is really good and teams are chasing points, yeah, they automatically don't run the ball on you anymore. They're going to start to throw. And are you capable of generating enough pressure and sacks in order to keep people from beating you by just giving up on a player?
Why not?
That probably could do that for you in games.
Nowhere close to where you were with Micah Parsons, that's for sure. When it comes to pressure, you're going to have to hope that as a Rocco, and maybe you can be average. I just.
So these people are saying that a player rushing from one side of the field is better than 2 players rushing from both sides of the field. This is crazy, crazy, crazy to believe that Micah Parsons was that good, that he's better than multiple players. That's crazy to me. The Philadelphia Eagles won a Super Bowl and had way less outside pressure than the Cowboys did. You know where the Eagles beat a lot of teams? The pressure in the middle. That's where they were beating teams. They didn't have no elite defensive end. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not winning with elite defensive end play. They're winning with Chris Jones. You think about the Los Angeles Rams with Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was not a defensive end. Aaron Donald, if I'm not mistaken, was a defensive tackle. The way the Rams were putting pressure on teams was through the middle. This is crazy to me. I just can't get with how people are looking at this. This is dumb to me.
And I'll take your point. Like, Kenny Clark does not fix your defense. This trade doesn't make them a balanced defense all of a sudden. But if you would pay Micah after the draft,
So how do we know it doesn't? This is the problem I have. How do we know it doesn't? Can we get the product on the field? Can we get the product on the field? Can we at least wait until game number 5 or 6 and then we come back and say, yeah, you know what, man, this defense really isn't good enough after they let go of Micah Parsons because they have 0 sacks in 6 games. Stop this madness. This is madness. It's a prisoner of the moment. And it's people who are basically saying we're upset that the Cowboys let Micah Parsons go and we don't believe they're going to do nothing without. This is crazy. This is crazy to me. Alex, man, I'm with you. The depth at edge rusher is insane on this team. The depth if there is one place the Cowboys have depth, it's the edge rushing position. This is crazy work to me. Appreciate that next super chat. Donovan, 17.5 sacks, Fowler, 10.5. Man, let me tell you something. Fowler had 10 last year. I would be happy Fowler gets his 10 sacks. If Donovan Ezeraku can get double-digit sacks. If James Houston can get single-digit sacks. If you tell me that Sam Williams is going to get single-digit sacks. If you tell me that we're also going to get some sacks from our cornerback blitzes, safety blitzes, linebacker blitzes, we can manufacture. You can scheme sacks. You can. This is madness to me. It's absolute madness. If I was in that room and I would tell Brian Broaddus, what makes you think they can't, we're willing to take that chance.
just had where they take more pass defense players in Revel and Ezeraku and how bad Mozzie Smith has played, you're looking at no money again to make your run defense physical and good next year. So then you'd have to spend all your draft resources in a year where you probably need wide receiver 2 and running back, and you might need another offensive lineman depending on how these guys play this year.
I would if it was me, I earmark these picks, potentially the extra picks, to getting the quarterback. That's the first thing I think of.
Eating healthy is
to get a quarterback. Oh my gosh.
Hard. But now everything we eat is
to get a quarterback?
I'm with you 100%.
I am not.
I think you have to. These next two quarterback drafts are good.
If you really want to potentially free up some money, think about that one. You're going to have to probably bite the bullet initially, but if you want to going forward, this is the opportunity for them. They have got to potentially use one of these two extra picks to address the quarterback situation. And if the quarterback situation is if all of a sudden you have another injury or the level of play is not where it needs to be.
But that's another thing that I guess they opened up, right? Because they're projecting.
Oh, they gave themselves options.
Yeah, with the cap space, they've got the second most projected cap space in the league going into next year. So you now have the ability, if something happens with Dak, you can kind of eat that quarterback contract if you need to, and then go draft your guy.
What'd you think about the video posted of Micah celebrating last night with his mom? It was kind of cool in a way. Like, I think every son wants to have that moment, but I think a lot of Cowboys fans were watching that and felt like he was celebrating the fact he was leaving Dallas.
I was happy for him. I mean, and now it's his mom doesn't have to work again. It's like all of our dreams growing up. If you love your.
So let me show you how dumb this discussion is. This is the dumbest discussion. And I'm sorry, yeah, I'm happy for Micah Parsons, but why are we treating this? I don't understand. This is what I say about a lot of this Dallas media. They don't seem like they like the Cowboys to me. They just don't. Everything the Cowboys do, it's all about the Cowboys didn't do this, the Cowboys didn't do that, the Cowboys never did anything good. And then when when things don't go the way they said, then they start backtracking, and then they start making up excuses for what they said. And then when the Cowboys if they fail and don't win a playoff game, then they start going back to who they were. These guys, I'm telling you, listen to this conversation. This conversation about Dak Prescott is dumb. Jerry Jones has already said the Cowboys are actually trying to take advantage of the Dak Prescott window. And the Dak Prescott window, according to what the Cowboys have done, the Dak Prescott window is actually through 2028. That's the Dak Prescott window. They're not going to start having these conversations about Dak Prescott until you get to probably right around 2027, 2028. But even then, these guys don't know what they're talking about. Dak Prescott right now, $180 million in dead money and $130 million cap hit. You get rid of Dak Prescott the following year, $129 million in dead money, $55 million cap hit. The only time you're going to start having this conversation about Dak Prescott would be in 2027. That's when you would start having this conversation. So that would actually be at the end of the 2026 season. If you're talking about getting a quarterback, you would go into the spring of 2027 and you would say, yeah, maybe we'll get a quarterback with in that particular draft. Jerry, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you straight up. I'm telling all of us straight up. I don't know. I'm not sure what everyone is expecting from Dak Prescott. I'm not really sure about this part. But I can tell you this. If Dak Prescott wins a Super Bowl in the next 2 seasons, Dak Prescott is retiring a Dallas Cowboy. There is no way the Joneses are going to let Dak Prescott go. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember any of the last few quarterbacks of the Cowboys. Troy Aikman never played for another team. Tony Romo never played for another team. And I think if Jerry gets his way, I don't think Dak Prescott will play for another team. Especially if Dak Prescott goes and wins a Super Bowl. They'll just say, hey, we'll extend him. And, once Dak gets to a certain age, Dak is more than likely going to give this team a team discount. But at the end of the day, it's the game. It is what it is. It's the game. And if Dak has to, after a couple of years, if Dak has to go, I guess he has to go. But I just don't see it happening like that. I don't see it happening like that. I got a strange feeling they may wind up extending Dak Prescott again so that Dak Prescott can retire a Dallas Cowboy. Edward Frazier says, what if our offense stinks and we can't stop the run? Boy, I'll tell you this, Edward Frazier. How long are you talking about stinking? Because Brian Schottenheimer is not going anywhere. Not the first season. The Cowboys will not fire Brian Schottenheimer the first season. They will not do it. Brian Schottenheimer, and I think the 2 years, I really think there's a 2-year window here. I think it's 2025 and 2026. He's got this year and next year. He's got this season and next season. And I think they will get that Super Bowl in 2026. I think they're going to be absolutely dominant. I think they get it. And so I really do say, I've already said this before, Edward, I do think the Cowboys are going to flash. But at the same time, we still got to give Brian, man, this is Brian's first year. It would be unprecedented for a coach in his first season to win the Super Bowl. There's only a couple of that have done it. There's only a couple that have done it. There's a lot on Brian's plate. New coaching staff, about 20 new players, implementing a new system, implementing a new culture. I mean, there's a lot going on here. But I tell you this, if Brian does what we think he can do, I think some of us think he can do, and if Brian really puts all of this together, and I mean the Cowboys absolutely wreck these playoffs, get to an NFC championship game, everybody's optimistic, go in the draft, sign George, sign Aubrey, sign Ty Smith, go in the draft, have another great draft, go into free agency, hit on free agency again. When the Cowboys come back in 2026, boy, everybody's going to be riding high. And I do believe the Cowboys are going to hit. So I think Jerry's going to give Brian a full year for sure. People talking about Brian going to be one and done. No, he's not. And I don't think there's any way possible that Brian can there's no way possible to me that Brian can fail. Dak Prescott has done way more with less. I'm not worried about Dak Prescott not playing good. Dak Prescott, when healthy, is a top 5 quarterback in this league. Dak Prescott has done way more with less. I am not worried about Dak Prescott. This might be the best offense that Dak Prescott has been on. We got to see what the run game is, though. I'm very interested to see what the run game is. Alex, appreciate that super chat. He said, we're a few days away. I'm excited. Dallas balls against Filthy. Football season is finally here. Let's go. Great show, G. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Edward Frazier said that was a what-if comment towards 105.3. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Edward Frazier. But isn't it crazy how they've just written off all the players on the Cowboys team, including Dak Prescott in that conversation? Boy, I'm just telling you, some of these media members, Edward Frazier, I'm telling you they don't like the Cowboys. Appreciate that super chat. They don't like the Cowboys. I just don't believe it. I don't believe they like the Cowboys. And I don't even think they're keeping it real. I just think they are always doom and gloom when it comes to the Cowboys. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. It is 3:43 in the morning. Thank you for being with me on Cowboys After Dark. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate the comments. Best chat on YouTube. Man, I am so excited about these Dallas Cowboys. I don't know why people are just like doom and gloom. Not me. I think this is going to be an incredible season for the Cowboys. I think it's going to be an incredible season. I think this thing with Micah Parsons is what's going to galvanize this team. Because if they're even barely thinking like me, I'm telling you, and Marshawn Nealon is already alluding to it. For people to write off a team like the Dallas Cowboys because of Micah Parsons? Well, if Micah Parsons is that good, we talking about the Cowboys. What about the Green Bay Packers? They better win the Super Bowl. There is no other option. They better win the Super Bowl. Because if Micah Parsons is that valuable, if Micah Parsons is going to make that kind of impact, then if they went 11-6 last year, the Green Bay Packers ought to go 13-4 this year. The Green Bay Packers should be no less than the number 2 seed because of Micah Parsons. Period. End of story. But we're going to see. All of this is we're going to see. And I tell y'all this, I am going to enjoy every single moment of this Dallas Cowboys season, come hell or high water. And there is nothing, I ain't gonna say nothing. But as long as Dak Prescott is healthy, I'm fully confident in this team. All right, y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. And if you see that HYPE button, the hype button, make sure you hit the hype button on your way out to push this video out so that it will get to more people in the morning. Oh, it is in the morning. So more people will see this today. I plan on seeing y'all again later on today, depending upon what happens out there on the news with the Dallas Cowboys. So again, until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.